don't know if we're going to get to that, but I'm just going to have it because hopefully you guys will do some talking and I'll take a couple bites of my sandwich. Hello, sir. Hey. Not much. Alrighty, and with that.
Are you guys streaming right now?
Yeah, you're good, dude.
Oh, shit.
You're good.
You're good. You're good.
You are more than fine. Technically, just literally just starting. And you did that off camera. That's still fun.
Oh, that's
Right? Alrighty. Well, theoretically everything's looking good. I know it looks good. Let's make sure that we have audio. That's one thing I haven't double checked yet. Well, we'll pull this open. I need live chat anyways. Live chat. There we go. So well, it sounds like we got audio. Now we come in here. Cool. We have audio. We have live chat. I'm notified that we are live on Facebook, Twitch, X, and Rumble. And I've got the Rumble live chat up. We're going to Mr. Rogers it, throw on the jacket, because we're in space, so we need space jacket.
Take off your shoes?
Space shoes?
Switch the shoes? No.
Yeah. No.
If they were on here, but no.
All right.
Plus also, people would need to pay if they're going to try to see my feet. I'm just saying,
Right.
there are limits to what they get for free.
Right.
To make good money with that.
I'm not objecting.
Action on that foot badge, man.
If someone wants to see my feet, you have my contact information. Reach out on anything here. I'm like selling feet pics is not in any way whatsoever less degrading than what I do for a living normally.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, that said, welcome, episode 74 of Dungeons and Dragons on WIM. Luckily, we got everything working again. All the cameras gone. We just had to literally just run to our old PC. The new PC we had just doesn't like any of the equipment. So I hooked up to a 13-year-old PC and everything works fine. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're just running an old PC. So that's good. That means I have my other new one, brand new gaming one that I can do for gaming live streams, stuff like that. I have been thinking about possibly streaming some Baldur's Gate on here, but we'll see how that plays out. Other than that, I guess we're all right. Yeah.
Already ready? Already?
Ready.
Alrighty. Well, you guys are back in camp, having long rested. Spark is in your little extra dimensional space. Do you want to keep it in there? Do you want to move it? What's your thoughts?
Keep it in there. That won't fit in the little box that Quiz has, will it?
Which box does Quiz have?
The fine box?
Oh, no. That was like a little box.
Okay. And you're talking about an anvil. So.
I mean, it's still
Decent size.
It's also not just a small. I mean, it is a large anvil, like something you'd expect giants to be making, like breastplates and stuff on.
Yeah.
It was remarkably light for the size it was.
I suspect that it should just stay in the space.
Just wanted to make sure. Didn't know if you wanted to secure it in your base somewhere, or if you wanted to just walk around with it. So we're gonna just walk around with the Spark Forge item. That's fair.
Sure.
No matter which answer you give, I would give it.
Right.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
it's in my job duties.
It's your job to make me second guess things.
Yeah, if you're happy with your decision, then like, what am I even here for?
And it's like, should I not be? I don't know. That doesn't seem like that's something you should do. Crap.
Okay. So, I know we were resting. Was anybody interested in playing around with any of the new items you guys got or anything like that?
So,
It's gonna be a mostly no from Golrak. There really is.
Gorak's pretty much like set with what he has.
Well,
A
like
lot
I said,
of-
there isn't anything interesting. Like he's not like I don't wear armor. Like I can't really wear that shield right now unless we want to do something weird with the shields, like make a boat, which I'm not against. Yeah. So I'd just be hanging out.
Yeah, well, the shields resize upon attunement. And there are definitely some people in here.
I was about to
that
say,
are down
since
for it.
nobody's attuned to that yet, I don't know that yet. So I would be disappointed. I would be sorely disappointed when someone attunes to it and just gets all small. Like, oh man, just like fucks my
You're
fucks
just
my
expecting
idea
this
all up.
Drow to be walking around with just this giant shield, like, I got it.
It's like, come on, that's great.
Right.
He's got two buddies carrying it for him.
I mean, let's just you use it as a fortification.
Mm-hmm.
The thing's fireproof. Nice big fireproof door would be pretty fucking sick.
Right.
Well, to be fireproof, it has to be
Be attuned.
activated,
Has
and
to
it
be
can't
attuned.
activate it without being attuned. It's only you're only fireproof for 1 minute.
Son of
So I
a
mean, it's
bitch.
really nice for that 1 minute a day. That thing is insane. Like if you use it, like let's say you're fighting a dragon that was just all fiery and just like going to wreck you,
and doing fire novas.
doing
and
fire novas
spitting
and
fire breath.
fire breaths and stuff like that. It would be super nice to have for something like that,
and
where you
lava
just throw
too.
it on real quick and then do that. But I give you 2 of them right before.
Yeah.
We'll identify stuff later.
Yeah. We couldn't possibly put these to use.
So,
Adun would ask to use the orb. Nobody else is going to put a use to it each day. He'd find a use for it.
we can, absolutely. There are also people in town who are like, if you leave that here, we can work on building stuff more. So it's
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah.
But 300 gold piece worth of materials not needed
Charge.
is, well, yeah, 300 per charge. So up to 900 a day. We just can ignore 900 gold piece worth of materials. Could help them with like building stuff, fabricating things, lots of random stuff if you try to build up this place, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah. That is the idea.
Including using that in making spell scrolls and stuff like that too.
Adun would take it for a day if you guys would let him.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. It sounds like a great community item. And at least for the immediate time being, I can see there being absolutely fuck yeah, do it. We just got back with a bunch of weird shit. I mean, it's hard to tell because everything's always a blur. How long were we actually gone for? In like actual game time?
This time you were only gone for like 2 hours. Well, no, we're about half a day because you still had half day's
Okay.
travel, and then about an hour. So, like 3/4 of a day by the time you're back with it, reattuning the items and stuff like that.
Because I always feel like it's less time than I think that it is.
Mm-hmm.
It usually is. Yeah. It's like, man, time's all screwy.
That sounds all right. So yeah, We have. You can definitely keep the orb if you want, just however you want to play it. Just they're more so saying like, oh yeah, absolutely, like well, clearly it's yours. But if you're not going to use it,
Right.
like if you're going to be like reaching to find a reason to use it, they're like, we wouldn't be. We like
You gotta use it.
need stuff.
No, I want to use it just for the first full day that we're back. Badun is going to cast Hallow on the Temple of Mishikal.
Okay.
He's set up
What are you on attuning to?
his shield. Obviously, very much keeping it within the entire time.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to just give that to somebody else?
No.
Sure.
Aggressively timed.
But yeah, you done it into his shield and then use the orb, spend the day, because it's 24-hour casting time. He's gonna hallow the temple.
Okay. So he needs a day down to hallow his temple and get that all set. What are you guys thinking? What do you want to do? There's also the bracelet. I don't know if anyone wants to play around with the bracelet. And there was also other things.
Yeah, Goldrack's just gonna kind of fiddle about and wait for everybody to figure out what's going on with all this stuff so we can decide on where we're gonna go next.
It was armor, safeguarding, the orb, the bracelet, and the 2 shields, right? Is that everything?
Puzzle cube.
Oh, and the puzzle cube. That's right.
You got the Morning Star, right?
Yep, there is the Morning Star too. But for some reason,
Yes,
it's
yes,
like
yes,
I have the armor, the
Pretty
puzzle cube, the
much, okay.
bracelet,
I couldn't remember if you.
and the Dreadnought shield.
I
The
know-
Morning Star is the only one I don't have written down for some reason or another. And it's like, yeah, I remember that all of a sudden.
I remember what was available, but I also remember what you guys got,
Yeah.
which honestly was mostly the same.
Well, if Adun is down for a day, who's gonna fuck around that cube? Help me out.
Okay.
You succeeded the last time you used it.
You did succeed last time.
Yeah.
So give me an investigation, and you have advantage
With guidance.
with guidance, so D4.
Investigation.
That's one thing. Like I swear, like if people played Baldur's Gate, they get so good at using some of those things because they're like, oh, I need it. I need just get guidance. Don't
Every
forget
single
guidance.
Well, the cool thing is, have you actually played it yet?
Mhm.
Yeah, I do like how it's like when it goes to do the roll, it's like optional and it's like right there. You don't have to like think or remember like, oh yeah, who has that or whatever. I think that's actually really cool.
24.
24. Yeah, it does not seem to open. You're going through and you're clicking around with it. You're like, yeah, I remember this, and it was that, and then it was here to here and here, and then just it resets. And that took 30 minutes. But he needs a whole 24 hours.
24 hours.
So I mean, you can try it again if you want.
Try it again.
Try it a few times. Now you have it at disadvantage with
Dis-
guidance.
Disadvantage?
Flat roll.
No, disadvantage. When you fail, it goes to disadvantage.
Yeah, but if he's helping.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Flat roll.
Hey!
Natty 20 on that.
Okay, for a total of, I'm guessing, high enough, but
31.
yeah. You open up, and it opens up a portal to the pocket dimension of Surtur.
So we want to get back there if we need to.
Takes 30 minutes, but with 30 minutes in this puzzle box, if you succeed, you can go to this pocket dimension anytime you want.
That's kind of.
Well, suppose that forge should outlive its usefulness. That would be feel like a good place to return it to. Hypothetically.
Of course.
Well, honestly, who really knows? Because we got 21 more to go. It's 22, or is it 20?
What?
Sparks.
There are 22 total.
22.
Is there
So we got
11?
21 more.
prime gods that are said to have had a spark forged item.
It's a lot of
11 good and 11 evil from the high councils of the divine gods. But it's neither here nor there. So, 24 hours you're doing that. You open up the puzzle cube. Do you want to actually go into this place? It opens up a portal.
Yeah.
It's a 30-foot diameter portal to that area. So, I mean, you could literally, I mean, it would suck, but you could literally, like, open it at the edge of the thing, like, sail a ship into it. And then just, the ship would just kind of on the ground there, but if you needed to. You could also take some of these flying ships potentially.
That was literally
Yeah,
my next
one of
question.
the
Like,
flying ships.
could you
The
like, fly
Nautiloids?
them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could fly a Nautiloid. Maybe? Hold on. 30-foot diameter portal. What are we talking about on the height of the
Well,
Nautiloid?
since that place is not a volcano anymore, I think that could be even like a dope second level of fucking security.
Well, there is that other dragon still floating around in there, though.
Yeah, but at this point,
From
like,
what
what
you know,
is?
the dragon left.
But even then, at this point, what is one dragon?
Well,
I think we could probably it would, but again, it would be more than happy to like go back there and clean house and make that a nice new shiny cave home.
A Nautiloid would probably not actually be able to, no,
Just-
it wouldn't be able to fit.
Just dimensionally.
Yeah, because
It's just
you
too
got
big.
your prison deck, cargo deck, battle deck, which is like double height. And you have your bridge deck, observation deck, command deck. It's got like a very hard rudder type thing on the bottom.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't necessarily be able to go
It
through.
gets-
That being said, like
It would get stuck.
one of the damsel flies could definitely get in there.
It
couple
would try.
are
and
the
it would
void
get stuck.
flies.
That's funny.
They're going to stand out a little bit more there, but you could get void flies in there. And they'd be capable of flying.
Yeah.
The void flies can also land, which is kind of nice. So you could actually move around there quicker. That being said, you hadn't seen giants. There was a lot of indication that things had possibly fled this realm as soon as the volcano went inert.
I bet it's really cool.
You guys saw the dragon leave. It's still warm. It's a very warm. It's just now it's
Not molten.
less
Not on
molten.
fire anymore.
The ground still has a bit of warmth, as if there's the potential, where it's a dormant volcano. So, you know, if you went and started playing around, you might be able to actually find places where there's like lava underneath. But for the most part, the volcano has gone dormant.
Did you say the damselflies are the ones that can land?
Yeah,
Or the void flies?
Void flies. Well, the void flies are upgraded damselflies. And yeah, those ones are. Right, those game rules, I'm like 90% sure a damselfly can land, and then it removed the ability for it to land, turning it into that. Mostly metal, it can't float on weather, but its legs enable it to land safely on the ground. A sliding latch behind the wings to access, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, stick one of each. Okay.
Well, you just have void flies. You have void flies, you have the void spiders, and the nautiloids. The void spiders, I'm going to say it's the upgraded night spider, and this one is incapable of landing. Right, are designed for space travel alone, can't float on water or land safely on the ground. The weight of the ship would snap its spindly legs, destroying its web-like rigging in the process. Which is why it's also not going to be able to fit through a 30-foot portal, because it does have these spindly,
Sails almost.
like sails, basically, yeah. But it's got these really big spindly legs that have like sails and things like that that allow it to move. So it's definitely going to be more than 30 feet wide.
2 void flights in there. Find some place to put them outside.
I mean, this one, just the whole of it, you're looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It's about 60, well, yeah, about 60 feet wide in the big admin part of it. So, yeah. But yeah, you can definitely throw some damselflies there. Now, that being said as well, remember that to pilot a damselfly, somebody has to be attuned to it. You can get a ship to run it, but it generally requires attunement using the spelljamming helm. But also, you're going through a portal that you guys got the information from, so just remember, you never know who else knows how to get to this portal.
Yeah, we shouldn't put anything there for the time being. At
You
least.
could
Put one in and just hide it.
You put one in, you can hide it. You could literally put one in with a crew of 9 people. There's some people here. You know.
Good. I don't think we've ever had a crew survive anything.
Crews and us don't get along too well, but we can try it again, I guess.
It's gonna
You
be
had a lot of crews
lost
surviving.
in a pocket dimension forever. Sorry.
Good.
Oh man.
If they left here, or they went in the pocket dimension, from what you guys know, it doesn't seem like people are being affected by death in that pocket dimension, as death can't access them. So that's one positive thing. On the other note, they will be leaving the astral sea, which means they'll start aging again. So they're susceptible to death here, but they're not going to die of old age, at least. They haven't eat, breathe, or drink or anything like that. If they went there, they'd probably have to start setting up and farming and doing things like that, or magical means to sustain themselves.
Yeah, cruise lights for volunteer. Put out the pros and the cons.
Legitimately putting out the pros and the cons? Give me a persuasion.
$27.
There are 18 people who don't like the idea of potentially dying here, given that they have death. Yeah, I'm not going to die of old age, but we're also surrounded by just black nothingness, and there's literally ships that we have that are docked in there, which tells me that things can move through that. So at any given moment, some random thing could come out here and just fucking murk me, and then I die. So I would love to set up a settlement somewhere where, worst case scenario, if I die,
You just die.
I just die and go to my gods instead of being consumed by death. So yeah, 18 people will go and start setting up a colony there.
Nice.
They're not super well versed, but they have enough spell casting capability that at least 2 or 3 of them can pilot the void fly. I'm like, yeah, we'll definitely go. And one of them's like, if need be, he's like, I'll have sending prepared. The second anything comes through here, or we see anything other than you guys show up, we can send word back, hey, there's things here.
I'd be most interested in knowing what it was that comes through. And would be highly likely to come and give you any assistance you might need. No, unless we're up for asking alligators.
Heard. And you're going to be going after alligators.
Never know what you're going to find out there.
True. So they'll spend the day and they'll pack up and they'll gather some supplies and head out. I did say that was 18, yes?
18.
Note that so they can set up their colony in actual paper. 18 lists in Surturville. Until you guys come up with a different name, but still waiting on a name for Void Base F.
We already had a name, but apparently got rejected.
Wait, what name?
I never wrote it down.
Well,
I don't remember. I feel like there were some jokes. I don't remember their name actually coming up. Anyways.
It was too long and we didn't. It was already named.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember the specifics of it, but it
The
was
specific word.
basically a sentence.
Yeah.
but
Right.
Right.
Exactly. That is nothing that isn't named or something like
Yep.
Something
See,
like
that's a
that.
little bit closer.
that.
We'll suss it out. It's all recorded, right?
It's all recorded.
So
You
I
guys
think
can
the
go
base
and
is
watch it.
called something like you guys never came up with a name, and so apparently it's just gonna be this.
Again, I feel like each one is just one little bit closer.
After 24 hours, does anybody else want to do anything in the 24 hours?
The only thing that I would specifically have any interest in doing is finding whoever's selling random assorted things, specifically potions and healing, and try and stock up on some healing things. Just general HP potions, so I can be a little bit less concerned about death. Maybe just start wearing a couple of them. A little note on it.
Currently on hand, he's got 4 potions of healing, 5 potions of greater healing, 7 potions of superior healing, and 7 potions of supreme healing.
I will do the supremes and the superiors. I'll probably should do that. Plus, I owe somebody something that I don't want to come up later. I don't want him to think that I forgot. We got September.
There we go. So you want the supreme healings?
And superior, yeah. That's the 6.
So for the supreme healings, if you want all 7, that's going to be he'll give them to you for 20,000 instead of 21,000 if you buy them all. So 20,000 gold. And then you said you also want the supreme and the superior.
Yeah.
Superior would be would be 11,000 for all of them. If you do 30,000, he'll give you all of them for 30,000 flat.
Then what I'll just do is I will give him half of that in gold and half of that in assorted gems. of whatever it would be. I guess I would just talk to him and see what he would find the most use out of. Whether it's just straight value from diamonds or having
Rubies, probably.
Yeah,
If you want to do rubies, there's some things you can do with that.
Yeah, I've got some rubies. I definitely have a good handful of rubies I can part with.
If you,
Because like I said, I know everybody's tastes are a little bit different for whatever it is that they got to do.
And that'll allow him to build up a better stock as well.
And what did I owe Glynsford again? Was it a Supreme or a Superior?
I think it's Supreme.
No, he had a superior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then on the way back and wandering around, I'll go and I will just drop it at where he's staying. I won't really even do anything. I'll just kind of leave a note, leave it on the porch, or just leave it on somewhere with just some kind of indication that he knew it was for me.
He is out adventuring right now. For 150 gold, you can get it sent to him.
Cool. Done.
Cool.
That's easy enough.
Easy enough.
Send an elemental his way.
Yep. So, anything else anybody wants to do this first day?
So that's minus
4. Second day. Is this when you want to do your legend lores?
Yes.
Ooh, buddy.
So, who do you want to legend lore first?
Let's legend lore. Oh God. Let's start with Iron Spark.
Ion?
Also, casting Hallow on that first day with my highest level slot, so that's going to be an 8th after the Halo effect.
That's not you. That is my other friend, Alex. I need this one. Put yourself up in.
And then the effect is going to be perpetual daylight in that area, as well as Celestials, Fey Fiends, and Undead cannot enter without making charisma saves. Did you text me? Text me that thing?
Yep.
That thingy?
If you want to read that aloud, that's what you were told. I'm gonna put you in the spot.
In the sacred halls of wisdom, where scrolls unfurl, Ayun, goddess of knowledge, unfurls her pearl. To her chosen she grants a gift profound, the power of knowing, their minds unbound. Inscribed in ancient tomes, her truths reside. They seek the depths of wisdom far and wide, with eyes that see beyond the mortal sight. They'll pierce the veil of darkness into the light. With each word they read, each thought they explore, Ayun's grace flows through them forevermore. In the realm of learning, their spirits will grow. Guided by her wisdom, the gods' truths they'll know.
If anybody wants to give me a religion, history, or insight, if you are proficient in any of those, you can give me a religion,
Do an insight.
history, or insight.
Do insight.
You can choose one, whichever you want. Not
So
all.
sorry guys, I'm a big useless dummy.
You're not proficient in any of those. Makes sense.
No, not even close.
Yeah, but look at your weapon proficiencies.
History, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like
You're
I
gonna do a
can guess
history.
that.
You're gonna do an insight and religion. That's perfect.
So just a straight thing.
Just a straight roll. How many base bonuses you have?
Yeah, whatever.
You wouldn't like guidance because you're not like, oh, here, let me guidance myself and see what I remember.
Yeah.
It's more when you hear it, like it's going to do.
So I'm going to use knowledge from a past life,
That's more fair.
and it puts me at a dirty 30.
30,
Dirty.
22.
22, 21. 21. You know that it was said, religion-wise, that Ioun had the foresight to know what was happening before it happened, giving her the ability to kind of have the upper hand against certain people.
Well, that didn't work out very well for her, did it?
It's like certain people, it's like I would hope everywhere, but
I mean,
Or she sacrificed herself knowing what else would have happened.
here we are.
She Doctor Stranged it.
That's what I was saying. Damn it. She knew the only way.
right.
That bitch.
A 22 history. You know that there is said that they have just vast libraries of like all recorded knowledge that Ioun had access to. But it was said that she pretty much just could recall pretty much anything that was in that library. Boom, 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 boom. And then a 30 insight. You're definitely getting the feel that whatever this boon is, it's something that the more you think on something and the more you work towards something, the more you'll be able to overcome it. You'll be able to be given basically the knowledge of things and start to be able to like unwrap the inner workings of things and get ahead of them while going through. It's kind of what you take from that.
Do we have any idea what
Are we all
considered to be the sacred halls of wisdom?
Are we all around, or is just Darren chilling at the temple doing legend lore?
I mean, you guys can all, I'm guessing you're all got together.
Yeah, I
for it.
could have gathered you all for it.
Otherwise,
I was,
forget what they said now. Yeah. I'm guessing you were going to get together and cast Legend Lore.
I'm hearing library and knowledge, and I'm just kind of zoning out. Like this is, it's like I am not interested. I'm not quite interested in this yet.
There was a lot there. I mean, there is a library that exists in
In the astral sea somewhere?
Oh yeah.
where the Divine Council is set up. There actually is a library, but the Divine Council, which normally was a demi-plane that people could go to, has been kind of cut off since this.
Locked down like everywhere else.
That being said, you also know that the item of Ioun is lost somewhere in void space. Give me a intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
And you can absolutely use a passive life for that. So you can do that.
I'm gonna have to, because holy shit. Ooh, yeah. It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You know of another thing that theoretically may, from what you've kind of been hinted at, may have been there when Ioun died. Ioun may have had her Sparkforged item with her when she died, and it got lost out in the void. So you might have an idea of roughly where it is, given that there was another thing that was just floating in the void, having been there after that.
Well, Ions would probably just be us trying to get there before anyone else. Seemingly, as it is drifting through void space. It would probably be to our advantage
To be the first ones there.
to be the first people there.
I mean, we're already in void space, so I can definitely see that is increases our opportunity of going after anything. And we don't have to plane shift or go anywhere or do anything. I just Yeah. I just don't want to go to a library, you guys. I just really don't. That does not sound like a good thing for me.
This would be something adrift. What things or creatures it could have already called to its power, who knows, but
There's always one way to find out. Go find it.
we should probably, if it is not in its resting place, which I'm almost certain it's not, then it needs to be found.
Totally just forgot. Yeah, like I was gonna say something. I just felt like I was listening to what you're saying while like holding on what I was gonna say. Wow, I just totally
Those
felt
brain
like-
muscles are weird,
These items in most cases all have, static locations or trials that you must pass even to get to them. This one is lost. And I feel like it would be best for any of us to find it rather than any of the inevitables or those who serve them.
Absolutely. And it would definitely give us a leg up on anybody else. Having found something that was already lost.
Well, that was that's what I was gonna say. Legend lore is 250 incense, right?
Yep.
So you can use 3 of the orbs charges to get 3 of them for free.
Here's a charge, and the next charge. Do we feel confident that we know of Pelors? You all seem to have some insider knowledge of its potential whereabouts.
That's the dragon around the star.
I was just gonna say that.
You all found a dragon around a star.
That's around the star.
I would say that probably checks out.
Did you want to do Legend lore and Pelor?
Do we want just any more answers on it?
Because you said you were going to do Bahamut, Ion, Pelor, Melora, Cord, and Cyanine. You don't have to, but you can.
I'll actually do Vecna. I can freaking do Vecna's things. I'm kidding. Let's do Pelors.
Son of a bitch.
This is when
Like I
Dave
said,
actually shoots me
that's
from across the table.
that's
I
the
could just see
expression of him going,
the one-shot pirate pistol
Motherfucker.
just fucking.
I've been saving this shit forever.
Does anybody want anything while I'm up?
No, thank you.
Dave, you could have asked me. We got you something.
I already sent you something to talk. Do your thing.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Ginger ale,
I would
please.
love one, please.
Yeah, likewise. Ginger ale.
Ginger ale, Pepsi, beer.
Whatever you got the most of, I'll take one of.
Jesse, you say you want a ginger ale?
Yes, please.
So,
Fucking things out of my fridge.
strap in for Pelor. Pelor, the sun god, in skies so bright, bestows upon champions radiant light. You done?
I couldn't talk because I had all the breath pushed out of me.
I'll use my third. No. Treat you like my middle schoolers. No.
I am that ADD kid, but, you know.
I'm not the guy who's gonna sit there and fucking yell at them. I'll just let them waste their time. And the kids that are paying attention, I'm like, you're getting your points. You guys are getting your points. Here's the next thing we're doing. And then the other kids are like, what's happening? What are you doing over there? Do you care? You're failing the class. Do you care? Anyway. From the top. Pelor, the sun god, in skies so bright, bestows upon champions radiant light. With beams that dazzle and brilliance untamed, they'll shine like the sun in his name proclaimed. blinding their foes with a holy embrace, Pelor's gift, a radiant grace. In the darkest of hours, they'll banish the night with the power of the sun, a beacon of light. Yes, I would say that probably rings true, that it is
Dragon Ram Star.
within a star. Yes.
If you guys want, you can give me those same checks again, and we can see what sort of things we can glean from this.
Absolutely. Why not?
No.
Is that with advantage or not?
No.
Just flat rolls.
History.
What you got on your religion?
12.
Pelor is the god of the sun, and he probably did a lot of
Dude.
stuff with radiant light.
This dude definitely just said all those things.
Radiant sun.
Yeah, pretty
Those
much.
things were all just immediately communicated.
You're just like pretty much you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
the
the sun.
shit that he said,
It's a
I
star.
really
It's the
don't
sun.
care at all. You're like,
I rolled a dirty 20 and I know what you know.
It's just one of those things. You're like,
Well,
yeah,
I
I skipped the Pelor part of religion class.
Yeah.
I just
Light.
You're
you.
like, it's the sun, it's
Yeah.
whatever.
Sun, you.
History and insight.
26.
26.
28.
28. 26 insight. There's lots of emphasis on radiance, blinding, like beacons, things like that. So you're thinking it probably has a lot to do with radiance and just overwhelming.
Creating light. Makes sense.
Armored Radiance, 5th edition.
Nice.
Remember Armored Radiance?
Okay.
It's like second edition or something.
Third.
Third.
It's one of those things. It's like cool. It's like mage armor, but it's really bright. So it's like cool. I get like a +4 deflection bonus and like a +2 bonus because I'm really hard to look at. So the creature is like looking away.
So I feel like we're pretty solid on that one.
And then history, 28. Yeah, you know that from the stories of Pelor in the battlefields and such, it was just leaving behind bodies that were just burned beyond recognition from radiance, just eliminating darkness. Just this flash on the battlefields that just kind of took out everything around him.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like nuclear shadows. It's like they were burned up so fast that their shadow was burnt into the ground. Gross.
Ground in the wall.
It was literally so bright that their shadow was. I mean, they sort of. I mean, they physically survived, but like that light burnt an image of them into the fucking ground, and then they turned to goo. But
In order to pursue this thing, we would either need to employ a high-level caster of sorts who would be able to wish us immunity to an effect to even get close to the thing. I do not think that our bodies could withstand even attempting to reach it. I can
Yeah.
resist radiance. Walking into a sun is still suicide.
like I said, the freaking Snicker Snack is all about murdering evil dragons, but it's like, hey man, I don't want to melt. Like, we can like maybe take a break on this one for a second.
Also, the dragon of, or that's protecting a star that contains the relic of a good god might not be an evil
I'm
dragon.
certain it's not going to be.
It might be pretty neutral, but it probably isn't evil. I'm just speculating. I don't know. It probably wouldn't like anybody to try and reach that relic.
These things that are worthy.
If we could convince it to let us use it to kill death, it might lend it to us. I'm sure not without some sort of trial itself.
Some sort of collateral.
Oh, that's interesting.
The next one, shall we try cord?
We did Palor.
Or we could ask for Sayanines.
You just let me know.
Or Melora, we knew a little bit about Melora. What do we think?
It's kind of interesting to see about Sahanin, I guess.
Sayanine it is.
Say honey, it happened to me.
Say honey, when no one is around you. Say baby, I love you. Say honey.
Boom.
Got to set the moon. Oh. Alright.
Sorry, some of it's weird because like lines get put together.
Another cold reading from my days in the theater. In Twilight's Vale, where shadows dance and play, Sahanine, goddess of deception, holds her sway. To her chosen few she imparts a gift so sly, duplicity and guile, as the moon graces the sky. With a silver tongue and eyes that gleam like stars, they move in the shadows, hidden behind bars. Deception their cloak, illusion their guide. In Sahanine's embrace, they deftly confide. In the realm of twilight, where secrets entwine, her disciples weave webs of cunning design. With the goddess's favor, they'll forever remain masters of deception in her moonlit domain. There's a whole lot of mooning happening.
Moonlight, twilight, deception. That's definitely the opposite of what we were just talking about with Pelor.
Duplicity and guile.
You guys give me your checks if you want.
Multiplicity.
Oh, you get right on that.
I know. I looked. He was like there. He goes.
Well, it starts at a 10, right?
Yes.
22, 20,
32.
20. History. You put the 20. You know, it was said that like Sahanine was known to lead multiple thieves guilds at the same time into different battles or into sometimes the same battles. Said that it was almost as if she could be in multiple places at once. 22. Religion.
Yes.
She weaved darkness around her in ways that seemed natural, making it hard for people to notice certain things. But it was like it'd be things where you barely notice, but like a shadow over the course of like 2 hours before she got there would grow to his position because she'd know that she'd be sneaking through that area and need that shadow just a little bit offset and things like that. Like she could literally just bend and shape the reality of darkness and shadows, but in a way that people rarely could ever tell. Only people who were really skilled were like, wait a second, why does this building's shadow go out 40 feet, but that building's shadow, which is 20 feet that way, only go out 30 feet? So only like some of the the most observant could actually catch.
Even
what
then,
was
it's just like the
happening
one
ways.
person that's in the right place. I just imagine that there's the
It's like-
guy that stands on the corner walking home, and he's just like,
Again, he's like,
"Fuck, god damn it, man, that gets my eyes every day." And then there's one day he walks up and he's like covering his face, like, "Fuck,
man, why is like, that's
why
weird.
am I not being blinded right
he's
now?"
like-
It's like
you're like, "Get off
I've been doing
work
this for
late."
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a decade. It's like I should be
Yeah.
like my eyeballs should be on fire.
I need to get home.
Yeah, he's like, fuck yeah. What's going on?
This is not even a super. Just like this is
It's
right
just
place, right time, guy.
one of those days where it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Those days happen.
And then
32.
32.
With knowledge from the past.
There was the way that it felt like the implication of duplicity went through. You're thinking of it not just meaning like to like beguile or like to trick or anything like that, but also to actually like duplicate and become more than one.
Create.
Um,
Pieces at once. That sounds pretty exciting for someone such as yourself.
It's definitely interesting.
In Twilight's Veil, well, we already knew that it is most likely in the Shadowlands.
Well, you know that it's in the vault of
Also
the
known as the Death
it's in a vault on the material plane.
Oh, it's in a vault.
Now these things aren't necessarily, the legend lore isn't necessarily going to tell
Where those
where
are.
they are. You guys already got ideas of where they are for
Right.
most of them. This is more of telling you kind of what they do, like what this item kind of does to an extent.
Well, if anybody can get into and out of a vault, it would probably be you.
It's possible.
No guy.
Probably Glycerin.
Or Clients are already there.
No, he just, the only difference was Glycerin is expertise in investigation, which comes out really nice. Because you still have that 9, right?
10.
Oh,
10
you
now.
got the flat 10 now, okay. So that's better.
Yes.
You're on
Much
that right
better.
now.
It's
Flat, so you're just 20.
Much better. That's how I got the 20.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's nice. That you're like kind of flat 20 on some of those ones. Because that fucking
19 's
50% chance of 19 was like, okay, cool. 19. It's not trapped.
Yeah.
But it's locked.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, we have 3 ideas of what powers these supply on this day. Is there anything else you wish to learn or check on this day, or we can wait for tomorrow and knock some more out, or we can even start moving, pick 1 or 2 of these things, maybe set our sights on a couple of them and see if we can consolidate.
Did you not want to look into Cord, Melora, or the Bahamut right now? I'm just trying to save materials, or?
Oh yeah, we can save materials.
Yeah, let's do materials. Purple.
Keep in mind, if we do that, we are wasting our days that could potentially get us to Ioun's faster.
I was going to suggest islands first.
With that quiz, give me an intelligence check.
Jesus.
How about 24?
You
That
know
fucking natty.
from your experience, while you're out here, this deep and void, space or time other places is moving much differently. So you chilling here for a couple of days, it's potentially like taking 1 day down other places. Now, if you're
Yeah.
going to move just randomly in the void, that could be little bit different.
Things are a little bit slower in void space in comparison to other places. Although, I do only have one more spell slot for the day anyway for Legend Lore, so I really wouldn't be wasting that many materials if we really wanted to.
Oh yeah, you don't have
something
Ritual Caster.
else.
You don't get Ritual Caster for being a cleric?
Clerics get ritual casting.
No, because it's a trait that can be subbed out for something else, I think.
Yeah.
Either that or you don't get it multi-classing, because I've checked and I've checked and I've checked, and for some reason I do not have Ritual Caster.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
It's funny because I have a feat where I'm a Strixhaven initiate, but also, yeah, just not a Ritual Caster. So I could take Ritual Casting. On my next level, depending on... No, not even depending on. Whichever class I pick, I would get Ritual feat. Or an ability score increase. I go with that.
So, do we want to cast another one? Do we want to take a down day? We can take one day down and then do the other 3 without spending any materials.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Sounds good. Like I said, I don't want to put anybody out, but the only thing that Gorak has any personal interest in is the only thing that he would recognize being Kord, because he doesn't necessarily have, I mean, he has recognition of the other gods, but doesn't have any sort of familiarity or investment. It's like, I don't know, like, people have talked about that one before, but I'm like, I don't really care.
Kord, you actually were tied to and
Yeah.
you're being blessed by.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, him and I had some one-on-one time, so I'm just like, let's see what's up with that dude.
Until you
maybe
undid the
I should
sundering.
go. Maybe I should go apologize.
Said until you undid the sundering. Which means you also technically in this realm undid having killed the shadow within the flame. Which
That
actually
is-
exists
that
in
is
this
true.
realm now.
That is very true. Which means Licht is somewhere burning something.
Probably.
Which, you know, might not necessarily be a bad thing. He's just murdering things in the
So
Underdark
sad they
or
didn't
some
give me
shit.
give me that on there. I would have had so much fun on Baldur's Gate if they gave me Celestial Warlock. I'm like, please
Oh,
just
that'd
give me
been
Celestial
sick.
Warlock. I want to make Licht. Just fucking fire, fire, fire. Just
That'd be cool.
light. Everything. Walking around with a torch out all the time. Take the dual wield feat just to have 2 torches.
Right.
Cast without having to use the semantic component. So you can hold on to torches.
Another option that I can do, which we have used before for combat purposes and rather than other purposes, is I can call and ask my deity for a planar ally to try and either aid us in locating.
That's what you did last time. That's how you found where most of them are.
Yeah. Aid us in locating or maybe solving a riddle, maybe seeing if they have access to resources which could get us into the center of a star or who knows what. Maybe give us a more precise region on the material plane where this vault is, things like that. But it gets expensive. Adun says, not knowing you guys are filthy fucking rich for no reason. About
They just pull out random piles of gemstones. You're like, what the fuck?
yeah, he's just like, I don't want to know.
Like, no, you like, we get it. We're poor too. Like, we lost so much of our wealth.
Like, it's weird because these aren't even from this universe, technically.
If we ask them to search,
It's from this universe, just not this timeline.
if we ask them to search over days, the price could be 10,000 gold pieces a day. I don't think you heard me. 10,000 gold pieces. So one of those pretty diamonds that he gave me, 2 of those per day.
How many days?
Yeah.
How many
But
months?
just yeah.
Okay.
How many months do you want him to work?
Well, I suppose it's a question for you guys. Those who have deep pockets usually don't understand how shallow they are until it's already gone. But also, you guys have a fuckload of money.
I mean, just remember, anything that can be bought isn't worth having.
Tell that to your mother.
Oh, shit.
I stand by my.
Changes nothing.
So,
So,
food for thought. Shall we do this again tomorrow?
you want to send a planar ally out today?
I could send one out today and we could get it started. I do not personally have the funds for this. I would need somebody's word that they would be willing to fund something like this.
I got you.
Are you sure? Okay. Would you then, since you are interested in Sayani, would you be interested in asking a planner ally to try to pinpoint maybe a region or a locale for the vault?
That's a good idea. But what if we're going to do island first?
I think if we could send this ally out towards the material plane in attempts to find the vault, and then we travel void space towards Ayun. Unless, do you think 2 groups should try to locate it?
No. I don't think we should split it up.
Well, I mean, the planner ally and us go look for Ayuns at different starting points. I don't.
How much do you trust their allegiance?
Oh, absolutely, thoroughly.
Yes. I think you have to be careful on items such as these. I don't know if how strong those allegiances might be.
I trust my God would not send me any creature or being that would go against her will. And I trust her will.
That's why they call it religion. It's faith.
I guess.
Somewhere George Michaels is singing.
Because you got happy.
Yes, it would
Makes me think of Keanu. Look, I got a tattoo of George Michaels. George Michaels is black, right?
Totally.
George Michael's
died.
partner. And then wham! Ain't nobody heard from him again. You killed him? Ain't no one heard from him again.
Fucking love it.
He's such a good movie.
So good.
Do you want to do that?
Yes. So I will use Planner Ally.
Joyce said she can't find us on Facebook.
No?
Tell us she ain't looking hard enough.
Right?
Yeah, I'll use a Planner Ally with the intention to ask it to help us pinpoint a region or locale for the vault that contains Sayan's spark-forged relic.
I know why she can't find us. Because I didn't click on this one thing here. She's fine. She'll be able to see us now.
Fixed it.
Oh well.
Well, that's why we have her keeping an eye on us.
Right.
That's sheer.
It's streamed everywhere else. That one
Because I'm
just
always
didn't
on
start all the
Rumble.
way. Same. I had that up for the live chat, but I was like, why is it? Oh, that's why. It's because I didn't click the confirm live on that one. Sorry. Did the whole, hey, now it's now live. It's fine. So you're going to cast planar ally?
Yes.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew as soon as you said that, I was like, I never actually clicked the confirm go live on that one. Just setting up all the new stuff and getting everything hooked up to the old computer, I forgot that it works different because the new one also has a lot of really cool plugins where everything goes into the OBS app and I just go live from OBS and it sends a signal and tells it to go live. On this one, I have to actually, on the older one,
Each and every
I have to
one?
manually be like, send the signal out, and then a couple of them have to click and be like, go live, go live. Anyways, what are you going to ask for when you cast the spell?
I would like an ally who we can send to the material plane to search for the vault that now contains the dagger or spark-forged relic of Sayani.
Okay.
And we all know the material plane is effectively the Hells Part 2, but
Dun, dun, dun.
Different. There's kind of a flash, and you see initially that was wings, right? Oh yeah, so it's on him. That's wings, right? You see what looks almost like the face of a lion with kind of horns coming back off of it, two big smoky wings, white fur over its entire body, just stands up in front of you and then kind of like leans down a little bit. When it leans down, you notice that it has a saddle on it, and on top of it you're seeing looks kind of like just a human. Effectively, what just appeared in front of you.
kind of like just a human.
What was that? Something pretty much along the lines of that.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. Alright. Yikes. Alright.
Cool. Like weird, crazy demon lion.
Excellent.
I need everybody here to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it for fear?
No, it is not.
Wisdom saving.
It's just.
You guys have +6 because you're near me. Yeah. 31.
31. You're fine.
28.
You're fine.
Let's see if
You
I
roll
can
natural 20 as well.
Yes, I did. But I
So you
got
guys roll.
I got. Yeah, I think I'm only +3 though. So it's
You feel
23.
very, very calm
29.
despite this, but
Oh, 23.
you don't actually seem to.
Very calming.
It has a very calming. area about him.
Fuck yeah.
But you guys are not charmed by him.
Cool.
Oh, charm.
Effectively making any creature that fails drop any weapons it's holding and be charmed by him.
Also immune to charmed.
But yeah.
In fact,
Pretty good.
I think even people that are near me are immune to charm.
Possibly. I don't remember.
Yes. Very calming nature. Yeah, potion. Aura of devotion. As long as they're within 10 feet. So if you're past 10 feet.
30 feet.
Oh, that's
All
right.
your stuff is 30
Oh, that's
feet.
right. Because of ice.
But he shows up. I hear you have a job for me.
We do. We are looking to locate the fabled vault that contains the spark-forged relic of Sehanin on the material plane. We have a gate. We could send you there, but we are hoping to ascertain the location of this vault.
I could try and find it for you. Do you know more of where it is?
Aside from being within a vault, I will find my notes.
Probably dark.
You have something playing in the background or am I hearing shit?
We're hearing
There's
shit.
stuff playing.
Just stop playing.
Just keep hearing this
No, no, no.
ding, ding,
Mhm.
ding.
Yeah, no, you're hearing
You
shit.
guys have you guys are inside of a building with a town around you. Is
Oh,
what that
okay,
sounds
it's
like.
so,
So that's somebody.
it's
There's
so
people
faint.
building and repairing.
No, Jesse, it's you. It's totally you. You were having a moment right now.
You're losing your mind, buddy.
That's a
You're
tumor.
losing your mind, buddy.
I swear to God, I could think like I don't know. I don't know what you're talking.
Yeah, they're building the city. You literally hired
I
some
just
people
think it's
to
so
do that.
quiet. It's just
I don't
downstairs.
get why you're yelling at them for doing what you paid them to do.
Did we get any more specific information?
It doesn't. Like I said, I don't think so.
It's a
Although
vault.
It's a vault on the
On the
material
material
plane.
plane. Theoretically, the vault is tied.
It's tied
into
to a
the-
thieves guild of some sort.
Into some thieves guilds.
Yeah. So, other than being attached to one or multiple major thieves guilds, that is all the information that we know.
I guess this is why I was caught. I can move in and out of many of these guilds. I am tied to some of them. Less of the chaotic thieves guilds, more of the ones who believe in the rules of law and honor among thieves, if you will. To reach out to all my contacts and to move to all the guilds, find out what it is I can. We are looking at probably 2 weeks of travel and contacts and moving, as well as going to loosen fingers and wet tongues of allies.
We can afford that.
Would you like to watch an ad before you fucking use the calendar? Or the calculator?
Of course. Love the ads. Best.
Watch an ad before you use the calendar.
you want me to do this to the best of my ability, I would say it is going to cost you about 160,000 gold pieces for 2 weeks of my time, and for me to make the right connections. A little bit more, I may be able to speed things up. A little bit less, I may not have the success you wish. It will be 2 weeks of my devoted time.
We can tell you in 200,000. You have them.
We will be potentially traveling void space. Would you be able to locate us, or would you like to return here?
If you are in void space, I will not be able to find you. I will not wish to find you. I do not like the idea of traveling through void space. But I will find this information, find the location of the door to this vault within the next 2 weeks. And I will let you know upon the completion of the task. I should be able to send you a message or something. You have access to a gate, yes?
Yes.
You can simply open the gates to me,
Yes.
and we will get you where you need to go.
Perfect. T-minus 2 weeks until we pursue this vault.
Are you giving them coin, gemstone, what are you MX?
Gems. Jimmy
You
gems.
just want to mark that off.
The Jimmy gems.
He will take it and he will head to the material plane. You can send him to the material plane.
With the cubic gate.
It will be much faster if you send me.
Well, what progress have we made with the big gate?
They've got a decent bed. I mean, they can use the cubic gate to open up a large portal.
Well, I mean the big gate on the base.
Yeah, the void portal. Or
Yeah, the portal.
Yeah, they have the cubic gate pretty much infused into it right now, and they're working with it.
You can name just about any place in the material plane.
With
Start there.
Yeah, with that, they can also, if you want to, you can travel with the puzzle box, but you can also use the puzzle box through this gate to create a slightly larger portal. If you wanted to send some nautiloids or like more substantially sized ships through there, just an option, but you can also keep it on you. If you attached it to there from this base, theoretically, they could probably, connecting it into this machine, build something to where it would only take maybe like 5 minutes to open the portal instead of 30 minutes. Having it to where it's kind of locked in. Now, it's kind of one of those weird things because you're pretty sure, you're like, I'm like 100% positive I did the same exact thing when you open it and then when you fail the other time, so you kind of have to play with it and intuit what it is. It's not the same exact movement every
Always
single time.
changes in one way or another. You gotta feel them
Something.
now.
Every new episode or every new movie, they change the cube a little bit. But he will leave through the gate and go hunting for the vault of Sehani.
Thanks, dude.
You're very welcome.
200,000 done.
Thank you. Any specific gems or just
Amethyst.
amethyst? That works. purple. Then you watch him literally pull out 200,000 gold piece worth of amethyst and just hand it to this guy.
No, assorted gems. No, that's...
It's like 40 amethyst or something like that?
Oh, it's definitely way more than that.
2,000.
Yeah.
2,000.
Way more than that.
I can't remember how much that amethyst was.
Amethyst are worth 100.
Yeah.
With it,
2,000 amethysts. You just hand them these.
when I
thought those were bigger ones, but
when
yeah,
I
no.
was going through and getting rid of everything or like valuing everything out, like I did the thing, and for my 2 shares for the top one, Alexandrite, I literally had 5.2 million gold pieces.
Yeah.
1 million in amber. Again, anything at that, like black opal, 10 million. Black pearl, 5 million.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hila,
And like
Hila's
stuff-
doing the
stuff-
same thing.
The
You
stuff with
destroy the economy. In
the stuff
entire
that was
universe.
worth 10, we still had 100,000 gold pieces worth of gems that are worth 10 gold pieces apiece.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
You can crush them up. You can crush them up and snort them.
Just because you can.
just for fun. Just for fun. Yeah, a dune.
Sell it feels like it's magic. It's
If the dunes weren't like always a silvery like flame, you could tell that he was squinting.
like, fuck.
Like, really.
Oh, it's just suspicious as hell.
Perfect. So he's off doing that. Next day, you are going to legend lore some more.
Yes.
Alrighty. Who do you want to legend lore first?
Let's go ahead and start with Cord.
Hey, hey.
Starting with Cord. Do we have Cord? We take Cord, but where is Cord? This is Cord. Tell because it has its name in it.
Uh-huh.
That's where they get you. That's where they get you. Saying it's the proper Alex.
Some other Alex is like, what the fuck?
No, they're like, sounds
that shit would
good.
just be
What's
priceless.
that from? I'm like,
You just-
oh, wrong Alex.
It's like you have
My bad, bro.
they're sending it to a totally different person. It's just like 3 paragraphs, and you're like, I don't think this is for me.
Yeah, but honestly, like, I have friends who just, if I send random shit like that to them, they'd be like, okay, cool.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's just one of those things. It's like you hope it's a person that's just like, oh, that's it wasn't for me, but that's fine.
I've sent you Cord. Yes?
Yes. Okay. Another. In the realm of thunder, where warriors tread, Cord, god of war, raises his mighty head. Nice. With lightning's fury and the storm's wild call, he grants his power to the bravest of all. From clouds that gather, dark and fierce, his gift of lightning they shall pierce. With thunder's roar and skies ablaze, they'll conquer foes in a glorious blaze. In battles fierce, they'll stand like a storm. With Cord's might, their enemies deform. With lightning's strike and courage so bold, they'll wield the power of the god of war untold.
Cold reading.
Indeed. Little tongue twister at the end. A lot of L's in this one. A lot of L's in this one. Light and courage, they'll wield untold. Lightning, real lightning, wild call all. Just for you.
Thank you.
So,
Ride the lightning.
in the realm of thunder, are there mountains in the plane of air? Or is this somewhere else?
That's the mountain's definitely somewhere else. I don't think there's going to be mountains in the elemental in the Cord thunderstorm air place?
The theory is that Cord's item is on a mountain in the elemental plane of air.
Oh yeah. See, there you go.
There are mountains; they're just not attached
Again,
to the
I would
ground.
But
But they do have like clouds that just have mountains on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because fucking why not?
Right.
See, I would just be oblivious to that until I saw it. I'm like, I don't think mountains are in the sky.
Yeah, there's like you've seen some stuff tied to the elemental plane where you guys went in and you literally saw like floating islands. So in theory, it's like a floating island that's just this giant mountain, probably something like that.
We saw the demiplane for the Djinn. Probably very similar feel. Cities floating on clouds and shit, or built on clouds. You okay, buddy?
You want to talk about it?
Sounds like it would make the warrior brave. Which I kind of feel like you already are, but lightning, a lot of lightning,
I can handle
Thunder,
lightning.
little lights.
a little thunder and lightning.
I can deal with those. I've been dealing with that for a while.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Like it generally doesn't sound bad at all, but I have a tendency to be overconfident.
This being somewhere on the elemental plane of air, which can be tricky.
I feel like that leaves challenges of itself. There isn't I don't think there's a whole lot of ground to be walking around on in the elemental plane of air.
Well, there are places where you can stand. It's just getting from place to place. Being able to fly helps.
You know, if you want to get to any plane of existence, you guys know that you can find the color pools that'll bring you to different planes of existence.
The what?
Color pools?
The color pools that float
Just
around
in
out
the
there
astral sea.
Oh, that's
We just gotta find the right color.
Or-
There's no way of, except for wandering around to find the right color.
Or we can use our warlock with his amulet and get there.
But you wouldn't be able to take a ship with you in that plane.
That's true.
Ah,
That's true.
you can use the amulet, or you can also just throw out the well of many worlds. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. But that's what you get for Cord. If you want to delve deeper, let me know. Otherwise, just let me know if you want to move on to the next one or what.
Yeah, what can I glean about the powers?
Give me an insight.
Insight. This is a new day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand new day. There's not a sun here. We'll pretend there is. That's gonna be a dirty 30.
Dirty.
Yes, there was definitely a lot of emphasis on wielding the power of lightning.
Real lightning.
The way that it said bravery, it's things that you've heard in like some of the paladin training you had, where they kind of taught you how to exude the energy that made you immune to fears and charms, and mainly like the fears and effects and stuff like that. So probably something along the lines of that, and then lightning and probably more lightning and such.
A lot of lightning. Potential aura of fearlessness.
You rolled well.
Oh no.
Oh, I just heard you roll a dice. I didn't know if you were just
Oh
rolling.
no.
Golrak is fearless, and then
Still don't
we're
know.
fearless.
Yeah.
Everybody is fearless.
21.
21. Yeah. You know, he's the god of war, strong, powerful warrior. Lots of lightning, expertise with different weapons, things like that. What next? We also have Bahamut and Melora were the ones you were planning, but we can do something else.
Melora next. Why not?
Meliora.
More L's, please.
No promises. You have more arrows? This one's not that bad. Nope, I don't want to copy just one word. Copy the entire thing. And paste. That's not what we want.
I love how our text streams are usually like, hey dude, what's up? Hey, cool. Yeah, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. And then every now and then it's like chunks of D&D lore, chunks of D&D lore, and then it's like, hey dude, I'm on my way.
Yeah, on my way. See you soon.
Oh, hey, see you on the weekend.
Little like shot, little like, oh, nothing. Hey, but. Yeah, little back and forth. Haha, laugh out loud. And then yeah, just giant like 8-page fucking paragraphs about D&D.
Yeah.
So I was thinking.
Kayla got me like a few nights ago. I was just scrolling through messages and I'm just like reading old shit that we had sent each other like way back a few years ago. Just reading through campaign stuff. She was like, "What are you doing? What did Dave send you?" I was like, "Oh, well, this was from like 2019." Why are you still at it? All right.
Morrison.
Ah, yes. In the shimmering depths where mysteries reside, Melora, goddess of the sea, takes her pride. With a wave of her hand, she grants powers untold to those who dare venture where her secrets unfold. Her whispers in the tides, her laughter in the foam, she bestows the gift of the ocean's ancient home. With the strength of the depths, they'll rise and shine, guided by Melora in the deep divine. This one made me feel things. It was very deep. I also liked how words had multiple meanings. Yeah, I'll try and see what I can glean.
Yeah, of course.
That's 27.
27 insight. You do notice there's a lot of emphasis on the depths, on the depths rising, or things from the depths rising, or things along the lines of that. Religion. You know that it was said like a lot of times people who went against Melora would get pulled down, like sunk down, and then bloated corpse would be found later. But the bloated corpses would have things like crushed skulls and bone fractures and stuff like that. It looks like as if maybe their body was under excessive pressure.
Squeesh.
Just roll 1, 2, 2.
Yeah.
Roll 1, 2. History. 20. Yeah. Kind of a lot of the same thing you're recalling. Before she was the goddess, the stories are that she would run ships or crews of ships and stuff like that would come from the ocean and just sink everything down. Tidal waves that would just pull ships under and just devour entire fleets of vessels and stuff like that.
So there you go, commanding waters. Is
Getting
seemingly the theme.
Squishing things with water.
I don't know how much water would be around in the Plaguelands where the Death Veil, but who knows? Maybe we'll be creating it or summoning it out of nothing.
An ocean floating in the
Well,
sky.
she's not in the Death Wing. More, that's the one that you have to find the ocean rift.
I just mean
Oh.
when we go to fight the Titans. So,
I mean, first level people could create water.
right.
So, just imagine what Melora could do.
what you could do if you had the spark from Laura.
She can make things pretty wet, I would guess. And because I'm curious, let's find out about Bahamut and his spark forged item. Oh my god.
Melora was a short one. The rest of them are a little bit longer.
Pillars of Strict.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that one?
In the realm of honor, where justice takes its stand, Bahamut, god of justice, extends a mighty hand. To his chosen champions, he imparts a sacred might, the power of authority to ensure the world is right. With scales of righteousness and a heart so pure, they wield the divine, steadfast and sure. Their words like thunder, their actions just and fair. In Bahamut's name, they'll protect and repair. With wisdom and grace, they'll lead the way. Guided by justice, they'll never sway. In the name of the God who judges all, his chosen enforcers, to them we call. Pretty intense.
Like justice.
So you gotta make before you're
righteousness.
camping?
Yes. You look good, you feel good. I like how it speaks of repair. Give a shot on this one, see what I can figure out. So 26. That's
26 of them.
nice. 26. Anything from the quiz?
You would know the
On the history check? See, 29.
26, 29. With the 26, you're catching. There was definitely a emphasis on like divine authority, kind of like a feel on the ability to impose justice on somebody, as opposed to just like kind of finding it, but more of like, if it's right, you can make it happen sort of feel. Things that give you a feel for spells like command and stuff like that, like are tied to that same idea where you kind of force that authority, but maybe something
More intense.
more intense.
For sure.
With the religion, you know that powerful warriors of Bahamut do have the ability to kind of impose the rule of law on others, to find justice via the law of the land and the laws at play, but they're also used to protect people from the those who would break those laws. So they have the ability to also protect and repair, as they say, against those who would be breaking the laws of nature, the laws of reality, the laws of the land.
Break it.
And with the history, Bahamut obviously was a very, very powerful god that was a dragon, but he would also take form of a powerful paladin during certain wars and stuff like that, where he used just a massive hammer to kind of call down justice upon his enemies, and then switch into his dragon form and breathe fire and do all that different stuff. But it was always in that sense of trying to right what was wrong and bring justice as opposed to just like win a fight or something like that. But yes, so that's what you guys get from that.
We are unsure of this one's location. No? I don't think we gleaned where this
You
one
knew it was in
is.
the Death Vale.
Oh yes, right. It's in the death.
It said that it was captured and taken to the Death Vale, so it's in the hands of some evil creature that's trying to keep it off. I wonder what evil creature might now exist in the Death Vale
That might have Bahamut's hammer.
or just an evil creature that for some reason isn't supposed to even exist anymore, but since now they exist again.
Somehow exists.
A creature that may or may not have literally let me have the most exciting moment in my D&D DMing career where I got to go counterspell on a 9th level mass heal.
Fucking terrible.
That's a big move.
Mass heal is like, cool, 900 hit points split up however you want.
No.
Nope.
He's like, actually, no.
No. You stop that right now.
Well, that was fun.
Ouchie.
Especially coming from a creature that's counterspell at will.
Yeah.
You don't want to be right next to that one when you're casting. I was telling him, like, where are you going to go? And you're like, I'm going to get a little off the wall. I'm like, okay, you're right in my range. I was like, it'd be fine. If he stays against the wall, I can't even counterspell. It's fine. Thought about it for a week. I'm like, yeah. Because if he'll stay against the wall, we're good. And you, like, move just out again on the wall enough just to put yourself in the center of everybody, kind of. I'm like, oh, I get it, but ouch. So that's 6 things you're capable of going for. You have somebody moving on Sahanin, looking for the vault. What else would you guys like to do?
Well, trying to will ourselves towards Ioun's Spark-Forged artifact might be the best option that we have to start. Also, if we are trying to acquire all or as many as we can, how long we think this might take, bear in mind, we have to hit one of them in every season. And,
If you want to go for Avandra.
if we want it. We don't know much about.
Anybody trained in nature?
Definitely not going.
No, so just give me a nature. 21. You don't know where the first location is, but you know that it's probably about, if time is where you think it is, given where you're at now, you're probably about maybe a month off from the like the spring. Spring, because so it's spring. It's not quite in the summer, but you're about to hit like the spring festival. Not even a month, maybe like 2-3 weeks off of the spring festival. That would probably be known as like the spring solstice, or the height of spring. So if that is something you want to do, you'd probably want to find it now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait another season, if you even want that. But do any of you guys think you are going to do the spring?
Probably not.
Are you like all like, yeah, I'm in the change and the seasons and being multiple things and travel and compromise? Yeah. It's not necessarily up your alley.
I'll try their thing.
But yeah, that was on. And if you went to the Plague Lands, you could get the Raven Queen, Avandra, Coralon. Just 3. Boom, boom, boom. Just right there.
Just easy paints.
Just, yeah.
Easy.
Sure.
Go, travel, do the first Avandra one, travel for a little while, get the Coralon one, hit the second part of the Avandra one, travel, locate the Raven Queen one, hit the second or the third part of Avandra, gather the Raven Queen one, hit the fourth part of Avandra. A year from now, less than a year, like 3/4 of a year from now, be all set, ready to go with 3.
Yeah.
And whatever the Plague Lands have to bestow upon you.
Yikes. No, thank you.
It's fine.
Is it fine?
Mm-hmm. It's very fun for me. I highly enjoy it. So, you've done your 3 legend lores. Yesterday you sent off somebody out on a mission to scout and look for the vault.
Yes.
What do you guys want to do? You always burn more money and send somebody else out after thing, because you can cast that spell once per day.
Yeah.
So you could
At
call somebody
least.
else and send somebody out looking for something else if you wanted.
I think we got a good start.
It is a good start. If we have, which I still don't know how, but if we had the funds, it could be smart to send multiples out, since we cannot be everywhere at once.
So you're going to have to find a mountain in the airplane. That's what they're looking for. You're going to have to find the ocean rift. Big storm. Those are 2 that you could send somebody for. You have a pretty good idea where the sun is.
Having gone by there before.
You have a good feeling that that's where that is. Bahamut, not really sure. But you could send somebody. I mean, you can, depending on what you're looking to do, you could send people out looking for more information.
How do you all feel about at least sending one more out? Could look for the mountain in the plane of air. Might be an easy one. The water rift, I feel, wouldn't be necessarily as challenging for us. It does kind of sound like whatever it is moves anyway. Sounds like something we would just have to go and take time searching for.
But if something could find that storm, because in theory, from what you have found, there's like a specific storm that has like the blue water portal in it that moves with the storm. So something could find, how many storms are there that have
a freaking
like
blue
portal in it. You know, what do they call it? Is it blue water?
I believe.
I think it's
Storm
blue
with the blue
water.
water.
It's one of those ones.
I definitely think sending out at least one more batch of people to at least start to locate something that we don't have locational would be advantageous, especially since we got a lot to do.
Again, I would not have the funds to be able to accomplish that.
Say someone else can find it for the next one.
You know, if anybody just has 200,000 gold sitting around,
Yeah,
or
blue
somewhere in that
holes. That's
zone.
what they call them.
Blue holes like black holes. Yeah, I'm not against funding another crew, small crew, just running off to do something.
It's like they have it's like a blue hole whirlpool type thing. So it's like you can see the water is significantly different, and it'll suck things into it and bring it to another plane of existence. But yeah. What are we thinking? I mean, two of the ones that would be easiest to send somebody out for would be Melora and Cord, and the two of you are looking for it. He said he funded his own person to go search for it, so I mean, you guys could
Absolutely.
fund yours if you want.
If that's the case, then again, especially since it's the easiest, and it would just be setting off from the void out to finding the freaking elemental plane of air, which would be something straight from the void, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, on that first day, I would have been able to cast Planner Ally again.
But you didn't run the next day.
Dun, dun, dun.
Send somebody off to Cord and to
Yup.
So who are you going to call first?
Ghostbusters.
And when they don't answer, who are you going to call?
And I will cast Planner Ally, and I will ask for assistance in locating on the elemental plane of air the mountain which contains the spark forged artifact of Cord.
Okay.
Looking for the storm.
You call in, and what appears to you is a golden horse of sorts, covered in scales, it's white hair, and kind of like a unicorn horn from it. What is it? Kirin. How do I say it? Yeah, Kirin. Golden dragon, unicorn, horsey thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun. Very pretty.
It shows up, and it speaks to you telepathically. You all hear it kind of in your native tongue, in your head. It says,
What have you called me for?
We need your aid in locating the spark forged artifact said to be on a mountain in the elemental plane of air for the deity Cord.
I got
bad. I know of this lore, but not of its location. But I do well in the plane of air. And the whole time it's talking, it's like hovering like right above the ground. I can do this for you. But for such a task, what do you offer to me?
The going rate, of course, is astronomical, I'm sure. We have 200,000 gold pieces worth of precious gemstones to offer.
For that price, I can look for this mountain for you. And I should be able to find it easily enough.
Well,
Sorry.
Start this.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm sorry.
and a yawn, and another yawn, and another yawn.
I would be able to go and find this place, and I could then return here and bring you to the location where this mountain is the next day.
Sweet.
That would be most helpful.
Will you be here waiting for me?
We are hoping to be. We might be in void space hunting another artifact.
If you are in void space, I will not be able to contact you. When I return, I could leave notes, but we may have to call upon your gods again to get my attention. Unless you leave a substantial enough reason or request for me to return to you. I could get lucky and find this place tomorrow. I could find it today in my travels. But who knows?
If it is quick, I'm sure we could return here almost as quickly.
It could be sometime to plane of air like any other of the planes of elemental chaos tend to shift and flow, ebbs and tides. Even the most powerful of mountains blow with the wind.
Well, I would say plan for both, because I don't imagine we're setting off immediately to go and do whatever we have planned. So if he comes back before we have set off, we have a secondary option.
Indeed.
If he comes back before you set off to, it's literally just going to be one more day of pay, which is like 1,000 gold, right?
Yeah.
So 1,000 gold to call him back and be like, hey,
Can you tell us or
can you
help
plane
us?
shift us there?
Yeah. That's not that big of a deal.
Because if we're not here and he leaves a note, it's not a big deal to call him back, right?
No.
Like, hey, bro. Okay,
So, with that, you send him off, and he will. You'll watch. He'll open up a portal, like it was plane shift off into the plane of air. Then, can you cast it again today? Did you try? Or do we have to wait a day?
We gotta wait a day. Wait a day, wait a day.
Look, I need soda.
Oh, there's environment. So, next day, you want to send somebody out? Are you guys going to try to leave this day as well? Is there anything else you want to do on this day? Struggle the low celestials that are aquatic.
Oh, not from Golrick. He's just gonna
No.
patiently look around and wait to figure out what's going on.
Normal day.
Oh, why this just like crashed? Let's start over.
Death crash.
Struggling. Okay, now you're caught up. You're caught up. Struggling a little bit. I don't know why. Let's just refresh this. Turn all that on. Turn that back on. Boom. Now what? Not loading any faster. Well, while that loads, anything else you guys want to do that day before the next day where you're going to send something else off? It's the second day. You did 3 legend lores and another planar ally.
Yeah. That's what I have for the second day.
I don't know why it just doesn't want to load at all. You're not loading anything. That's loading. But not really. It says it's loading. But it's just blank.
It's confusing itself.
Yeah, it's struggling. None of my tabs are opening. I'm just getting a little pinwheel at the top. Everything else is fine. For no reason. Shouldn't not be working. Let's try this. Switch over there. Close that off. Cannot open because the server could not be found.
Somebody else's shit right now.
Are you having any issues on D&D Beyond? Just D&D Beyond? No?
Yeah, mine's crashing too.
You're D&D Beyond? Yeah.
I just reloaded my character sheet without a problem.
There it goes. Yeah, mine just went through.
Yeah. I'm doing other things and it's not having any issue. Nope, that's not what I want. Don't open the app. But I do a random thing and that went. Maybe it was just a second. I even jumped onto the second Wi-Fi. Just to make sure it's on itself, and I don't think anybody else is on that Wi-Fi right now. And it's just slow. Who knows? Let's go back to D&D Wi-Fi Pro. Dungeons Wi-Fi Pro. I just wanted. It was all fine until I was like, hey, can you give me a celestial creature from the aquatic environment? And I was like, fucking crash.
No, I can't do that.
Celestial environment. Hey, it's actually going quicker now. Underwater. Filter monsters. There we go. Oh, you failed an investigation check. So there that's shouldn't be that hard to do. Oh well. Let's do celestial. Do a celestial with a swim speed. Even if it doesn't live in water, give me a celestial with a swim speed. That's it. Yeah. What are you? You're... Yeah, that works. Cool. Oh, open the average. That's good. So, third day, we are going to call upon. Dear God, what are you going to ask for?
We need help locating the intense hurricane and storm that houses the blue water portal to the demi-plane, which houses Melora's spark-forged artifact. Clear as mud, I'm sure.
Okay. Kind of medium, just humanoid shows up. White garbs, some silver trim and silver bandanas kind of tied around. Silvery hair that kind of just continues to float about it. She will say, "What is it that you call me for?"
We are aware of a giant storm that contains blue water portal. This is an entrance to a demi-plane. It houses the spark-forged artifact of Melora. We would like to know this storm's location.
It's patterned if it's moving.
And yes, if it is moving, if we could be brought there or shown the way.
When you say that, you notice that there's kind of like a light around her. It seems to kind of like glow and turn like kind of darker blue and kind of flicker. And do you know where the storm is? Is it in the astral sea?
Should be.
So I'm pretty sure it's the material plane.
It can be reached through either the material plane or, as I understand it, the astral sea. But the storm that I am referring to should be the material plane.
I will be able to take my ship and look for this item, for this location, storm, if it is made worthwhile for me and my ship. Looking for a storm in the ship can be dangerous. Storms can get anything close enough to see whether or not it has a blue portal or blue water. The whirlpool could put my ship in danger.
I'm sure we can compensate that.
How much you throw out?
200,000.
20,000. This would be acceptable. I can go looking for this ship.
That would be most kind. We will be potentially traveling into void space. If you would be willing to send word at least here, and if we are not here, we could reach out to you again.
I can cast sending once a day. I will look for this storm. However, I will tell you that this will buy my crew for a little over a fortnight. Finding a hurricane in the seas may be difficult. I cannot promise that I will find it in this time, but I will look for it to the best of my abilities.
If you do not succeed within that time, we could hire you for more, depending on our status at that time as well.
I will do my best over the next 20 days to find this. It will take 2 or 3 days for me to prepare to set out, but this will not come out of your pay. So, I'll let you know.
I wish you and your crew all of the safety and success.
Something I can do, but it will be difficult to get my ship there. Can you get to the material plane faster?
We can.
Well, then I will bring my ship here and we will go. I see you have the abilities for plane and travel, it looks like. I simply ask because finding the correct blue or the correct color pool could take a week or two in its own. I would hate to spend the entire time just trying to get to the plane. So if you could open up the gate, perhaps open up the gate within a certain range of tropical storm, maybe we get lucky.
We can do this.
Wonderful. I will have my ship ready to take off in the next few days here. And we will go from there. And she'll take the money. What'd you give her? What'd you offer?
Raise anything out this.
200 or 200,000 on Vantas. Okay. Take it. And head off. Is there anything else you'd like to do on this day?
Yeah, go and tell the people at the gates what we've done and what help these people, creatures, might need.
I feel like there's no oxygen in this room or something. It's like I can't breathe. Is it?
For real, yeah.
I'm not tired. It's just like the yawning.
I think it's also just the right amount of warm where it's not like super uncomfortable, but it's
But
one
it's
of
just
those
like-
things where it's just like, oh, it's nap time.
It's nappy time.
Okay, I thought maybe I was the only one that was sitting where I was going to get kind of
No, I definitely have been feeling it too.
more than warm now.
Would anybody like a
For me,
drink?
it just keeps going up and down. A few
Yeah,
minutes
I'll take
ago,
a
I was
Pepsi.
just like kind of
Pepsi.
fucking drowsy from it, and now I'm just back in it.
Good job.
Ginger ale?
I have to get that abomination out of that fridge.
This is so gross.
You don't like ginger ale?
I hate ginger ale, which is why there's always the people who do that stupid little trick where they're like, "Oh, you want ginger ale? We don't have ginger ale, but I'll fill up a Sprite and put a splash of Coke in it and call it a ginger ale." And I'm like, it doesn't taste anything like it tastes just like ginger ale. I'm like, no,
it
because
barely
like,
looks like
ginger ale
it.
makes me want to vomit, and this I can drink. Like
I
it
have
tastes.
never heard of anybody doing that before.
People do it all the time, and
Really?
it pisses me off.
For
So I'm
what?
like, the
Fake ginger ale.
Sprite
Oh.
with a splash of freaking
Yeah.
Pepsi and saying
No.
it tastes just like ginger ale.
Horrible, no.
Like no.
Absolutely
And then
not.
some people are like, "Oh, do it with Diet Coke," and it tastes. And I'm like,
No.
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 It doesn't taste anything
We
like
like,
ginger ale.
that super strong ginger ale around my house, the Verners. Michigan ginger ale.
Yeah. I just
Like
no.
borderline ginger beer.
Right?
See, and I like ginger beer. Just not
Like ginger beer.
ale.
Or
And I like
mule-
ginger.
Or like a mule or something like that.
hmm I'm more than fine with any of that, but just no.
Oh, Canada Dry.
No. Even that, like, why would I drink something that has the word dry in the title? It's like Canada and dry. I'm like, why would I want to consume either of those
The
two
concept of
things? Sorry if you're
dryness.
following us from Canada, but
The concept
attention
of
what's going on.
dryness in a beverage took me a long time to understand, but I really like dry drinks.
I know. I want like dry wine and stuff like that.
Like I want my wine dry. I just want it dry. I want it so dry.
Dry wine is so awesome.
Tannins can be really good. Anyways, is there anything else you want to do? Do you want to try to legend lore anything else? Hopefully not, because those are the only ones I have prepared.
Actually, I haven't.
It's like it's interesting.
I can pull them up really quick, and they're just
No.
not going to be as good.
No.
Because I went through and I cultivated those with help of a lot of different things.
You just tell us that the AI did it for you.
I didn't all, but it did a lot of it. But I tweaked a bunch of stuff and changed it, and then changed some of the rhyme schemes because I'm like, I don't like that. I want this rhyme.
And that's what it's there for.
ChatGPT.
But also, you doing that shit is helping it learn.
Is that what that is? The AI thing? Shit.
I'm sure there's a couple of them, but that's the.
I
that's
keep
the
seeing
main
them,
one.
but I didn't know what it was. I'm not hip on all this.
You know that guy carries a backpack around? Allegedly, it's to detonate the data centers if GPT ever goes rogue. So it's allegedly like a hard connection to like some sort of demolition to the data centers in case ChatGPT decides to
Becomes
go for it.
sentient.
So the guy that runs it, like, yeah, he carries around like a blue backpack, and that's allegedly what's in it.
Heard. That's funny.
That's what I said too. I was like, that's hilarious. It's like, don't worry, guys, I have a plan.
But
It's
if we
just-
know
and
that,
his plan is
the
just this
chat
backpack.
knows that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like his plan is just this backpack. But then AI was like, oh, just let him think that. It's fine. It's harmless.
I'm pretty sure I actually just literally watched a recent episode of the X-Files where that exact thing was happening.
AI took over or
The
something.
AI was becoming sentient, and it
The
was
guy had a back door, and his back door was nailed shut.
Yeah, and that's
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Fuck.
My favorite one was like reading the history of CAPTCHA. You know, like CAPTCHA is actually training AI. And so, like, when you go and you do a little thing, at first it's the words. It used to have two words, and one was easy to read and one was harder to read.
Yeah.
The harder to read words were actually words from books that were like handwritten and stuff like that. And so it knew the first word and didn't know the second word. So when you typed in the two words, if you did the first word right and the second word was similar to what other people had put in, it would recognize that, and then it would let you go through. But you were literally training AI to learn how to read that second word. And then now, like, click the images of that. You're literally training AI to be able to tell the difference between, like, click the images of bicycles, and it's like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, cool, now I can recognize what bicycle is because 2 million people have clicked on the images of bicycles or crossword. We're literally training AI, and
Object
we're going through.
recognition. I mean, ChatGPT is a large language model, so it's like literally the way that, I mean, just plugging it into like have you do like D&D copy, like it's just like that. All that is just learning how to talk like a person and not like a computer.
Well, you can basically what I did was I took the version of the god I went and I said, hey, this is the lore on this god. Now give me a poem based off of this
Yeah.
and include these things like that. Good, cool.
render like 5 of those. I like that. I like that. I like that. It's like cool. Add this to the poem. Cool. Go through and you can curate a lot of stuff. And then also I just have things that I can go through and change things as well.
So that's like why the writers are all on strike and shit, because people can just do that.
No, yes and no.
Is that,
There's
A
more
lot
to
of
it.
I heard of something.
A lot of it is kind of generic. The idea is it gives you a nice baseline, and then you
And then-
edit it and
then you
adjust it
edit
how
and
you
adjust
want it.
yeah. That's one of those things I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it sucks, I get that, but I was fighting it 5 years ago when I was like, hey, cool, like 3D printing is doing the same exact thing.
Yeah. Use it. You can use it as a tool, but it shouldn't be the end all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find
Well,
out with most things with AI, like it won't have a lot of humanity. It won't have the edge or things that you need or want. The creators make.
Yeah. Hard in it.
Yeah.
Well, it's just weird, like the progression of it all, where they're just like trying to push computers and robots into creative work instead of into manual work.
It's so bizarre.
It's like, let's teach computers how to do art instead of how to like drive garbage trucks.
Well, and that's the funny thing to me, because it's like, yeah, it'd be really ideal and great if humans actually had the time to create and do the things that they had passion for, and it's their outlet, but no, they're going to be the ones working, so let's ask AI to make art. Why not? Like, what the fuck kind of backwards world is this?
Fully backwards.
But it's just
God
like you read
bless
legend
you,
lore and
bro.
it's like the information you learn is accurate but might be couched in figurative language. For example, then it shows you an example and it's like, cool, like let's just make a fun little thing with that, and then I'll let you guys glean
Figurative
the
language is
information
bad.
I used to create that.
Fuck yeah.
It's like we're not out here trying to be literal.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Yeah, I got nothing else for the rest of this day.
Anything else you guys want to do? Do you know how you want to? So you want to just go out into void and just kind of look for it.
Well, we had it marked on the map and kind of know where it was.
Well, that's not how the.
We
that's
knew
not
what
how
a
the-
star was. Not necessarily the Ion artifact, right?
Well, you said that.
Do we have an idea of the battle site?
You saw the star.
Did we mark
You
the...
said there was a dragon flying around, which is
Yeah.
why we got approached.
That's Pelor,
That's
not Ion.
Pelor.
Oh,
Yeah.
which one?
Ion is just going out
Ion's
into
in
the
void
void.
space.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just going into
Yeah,
void
just in
space,
void.
which is
The anti-magic.
anti-magic darkness.
Well, it's anti-magic darkness, and if you don't know where you're going, you're not really going anywhere.
And also, good luck coming back, type of thing.
Well, coming back shouldn't be an issue because at least you know where you're going back to. So as long as you can figure out where you're going back to, it's just getting there would be the actual problem. But again, getting to a place where we don't know where it is in the void seems to be like, I mean, you're just like stumbling through the void because that's all it's just fucking moving around.
The tough thing is, we basically want to go where we can feel the biggest pull, just saying like, I want to go towards Ion, or the Sparkforge artifact of Ion.
Which is great, because you can use a spell jamming helm to do that
To get
initially.
there.
But then the second that your spell jamming helm enters the void, that doesn't
Then
work.
it's done, yeah. Then we just
Then you guys are trying to kind of pull that way and
try
drag
to
that.
triangulate.
But you're also trying to, if you're
which
taking a
direction
ship,
it's
you're doing
going.
that, yeah. If not, you're just kind of trying out in the void to try to see if you can't find that. You also have
What
no
about-
magic items.
Well,
for the most
that's what I
part.
was gonna say. Is like, what about the gate and other stuff? Like, is that gonna potentially, like, if we roll the dice and see where we land? See if that's gonna open up
I
to
mean-
anywhere useful.
Can't
You
open a
can't-
gate to
You
it.
can't open a gate into the void space. A, it's
Oh, yeah.
non-magical. B, your gate, you don't have the ability to open into the astral sea at this point. Plus, it reaches to another plane of existence, so you would have to bring this void base to another plane of existence and then do that.
So yeah, that is something that could take way long.
That could take some time. It could go quickly. I mean, who knows? You know, I mean, you floated just in a timeless feeling of just nothingness. So,
Yeah, who knows how long.
yeah. At points, it's like you don't necessarily need to rest, but like at points you kind of almost went into a sleep-like state where you're just like kind of meditative, and it's like, did you do that for an hour? Did you do that for a week?
Yeah.
How long were you just drifting?
sent you drifting towards this place, theoretically.
So, depending on how you feel, what you would like to do.
Do you want to try to take a ship?
Take a void fly. Yeah, why not? Try to propel.
A void fly does require a crew of 9 to properly fly it. Yeah, crew of 9 to properly man it, especially when you can't use the spell jamming helm, which goes completely inert once you enter into the void.
I'm sure we could hire some people.
Are you going to try to just ask around here?
Might as well see who's available, if anyone's interested in the potentials of treasure hunting in void space.
Put up a flyer.
What are you going to ask of people?
Do they have experience? Because obviously there are whole cultures and towns of people in void space that basically try to shoot through small pockets and treasure collect over periods of time. See if anyone has experience.
You guys pretty much murdered every single person who was an actual drow here.
Well,
Instead
they'd
of
already
trying
been
to-
taken over, so
Yeah.
They'd already been taken over. Yeah, they were thralls. I get that, but you could have, cast some spells and got them back.
We can resurrect them.
You could attempt to resurrect a couple people. You'd have to. I mean, you'd still have to fix them after resurrecting them. Which is now more doable. I don't know if I have my thing yet.
I can greater restore, I can cast heal.
It's like
I don't remember what the other one was. Regeneration, I think, which I do not have. Do I? Because I think it's an 8th level spell. Or sorry, 7th or 8th, which I would not have access to. Regenerate. Let's see.
That's not it. What was on first?
It's a 7th level, so I wouldn't be able to do it until next level.
Son of beach.
You know what? Anything's still with
It was regenerate. Almost certain.
I know it was a certain, yeah. I'm just trying to remember which. Monsters from the Multiverse. Why did I think it was Tome of Foes? It has Alstriver, Gift, folks. It does not have Mindflayers in it. I feel like it's one that isn't like pushed anymore, but I still bought it, so I still want it. We'll
hasn't caught commission everything.
Only in America.
Adventures, do you have
Only in America.
clues off them?
Woman snuck a gun into a baseball game by hiding it in her belly fat and accidentally shot herself.
Oh, that was a false thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they thought,
Oh, good.
or at least a news site reported that is what happened.
See, but it's believable. It's one
Right.
of those things where you're just like, yeah,
But that's the thing
I
is-
totally believe that.
I wouldn't put it past anybody. Yeah, that
It's,
could
it's
absolutely
America.
happen.
That can happen here.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, it's fake. Like, oh, that's fake. That's probable truth. Like
Yeah.
somebody just makes some shit up. It's like when you make shit up that's just vaguely believable, you're like, ah. I mean, it could happen.
Oh, it was Volos, wasn't it? It was, yeah, Volos Guide to Monsters, yeah, duh.
The shit that's getting me now is the fake websites are starting to look real.
Of course it was
good.
Volos.
Volo's guy.
Shit.
Um,
You know, big ol' aberrant.
Volo is actually in Baldur's Gate.
Nice. That's fucking awesome.
He's like a mage. He's just going through and he's just like taking all these notes and it's like, wait a second. Metamorphosis, that's something I'm dealing with. Not really. Where are my thralls? Give me my thralls. Right there. Thralls. Regenerate, heal, and greater restoration.
Yep.
Once a day.
Yep. 3 days.
For 3 days. So you can't do that till next
Next level.
level.
So
Because of regenerate?
yeah, cannot cast regenerate. So just kidding, guys. I cannot bring back crew that would have experience in void space yet.
But in and out filter by oh, that would have made it really easy. I thought that was one of the things. I thought I could filter by ability to cast a spell. I'm not seeing anything that can cast regenerate either. Everything I'm seeing is just like monsters that have the ability to regenerate. Doesn't regenerate, doesn't. Yeah, I don't see anything that can actually just. Oh. Unless this one does. She does have a spell, but she is not a celestial or anything. You guys could be able to summon. It's just a spellcaster. So no, it's nothing. I was just looking real quick. It's like, is there any angels or anything? You might be able to be like, hey, planar ally, can you come in and just cast regenerate? But they don't have any. So you can't do that. You know, one thing that you guys have already come to find out is that the void bases and the void spacers are not working separate from the Telseldarine. The Telseldarine has pretty much conquered the void spacers, but the void spacers have also kind of allied with them and allowed the conference. They're no longer rebels. They're more so just working together, with the void spacers patrolling void space for the Telseldarine and the Telseldarine patrolling the main space of the Astral Sea, trying to keep other creatures from coming, because since 20-something years ago, things started getting bad and a bunch of people started trying to come to the Astral Sea to flee the material plane, and they're like, look, we don't want your bullshit here. Especially with them coming with diseases and stuff like that. They're like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no.
Well, I'm sure then we're good. I'm sure then we're just great friends.
So you wouldn't be able to necessarily reach out to the void spacers. You don't even know how they would react to you or anything like that. But there's 4 of you. You have some ship experience. You have some ship experience. You have a bit of ship experience.
I have proficiency with space vehicles.
You have proficiency with space vehicles.
I guess I have experience with ships, but I have proficiency with land vehicles.
Like completely random.
Do.
And then, may be random, but his god may have wanted him to come find this thing that he doesn't even know about yet. Oh yeah.
Yeah, tools, vehicles, space.
So you have a pretty good bosun, a decent captain,
Hey.
navigator, quartermaster.
Passenger.
Professional cook.
sailor.
That's it.
It's great because in
That's,
space, we
that's
don't
what I was
need
going
to
to say. Is like going out to the astral sea is like cook, passenger. That's the same thing.
So yeah, I mean, in theory, you would want more. You can't just resurrect more, but
Come on, zombie crew.
it
Zombie
would
crew.
probably be good to have a captain, a first mate, a bosun, a quartermaster, and a surgeon. Cook would be helpful too, but you don't really need a cook. But cook could help with morale for certain things, you know. There are
Morale in the middle of void space would probably be very beneficial, actually.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay with being the head of HR.
so there's 6.
Quiz, human resources.
So the main thing that they're looking for a cook is proficiency with cook's utensils and with brewer's supplies.
Okay. I got it. Smith's tools.
Which is good. For bosun, you want to be able to be good with carpenter's tools and athletics. You should have carpenter's tools.
I have the gloves. That was my carpenter's thing. So if we're gonna do that, and then for any extended period of travelry,
You've done it long enough where you don't need the gloves anymore
Alright, cool.
because you spent plenty of time training as bosun. I would say you definitely have proficiency in carpenter's tools, but do you have the ability to see in magical darkness?
I have blind sight. So yes, 10
So
feet.
10 foot. So you have 10 foot of blind sight, and that's it.
Mhm. I guess I thought that changed too. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, and you would be fine. So technically, the blind sight, it is a magical thing that grants you blind sight, but it's also from an artifact, so it will still work. So you have 10 foot of blind sight. You have blind sight as well. Well, do you have 2 blind sights?
I think so.
Because don't you have rogue blind sight?
And then whatever we got from the Forever Seen Hills.
Collection. Let's just look at rogue because I feel like you get blind sight at a certain level.
Blind sense.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep. So, and how much is that?
10 feet.
Yeah, so then you technically have
20 foot because it stacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have 20 foot. Yeah, starting at 14th level, you're able to hear, or if you are able to hear, which you are, void space isn't
Sound.
silence. You are aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet of you.
20 feet, in your case.
So, and then with your other one, yeah. So,
I have devil sight.
True sight. Not horribly far, but true sight. Sees through magical darkness.
how far?
60 feet.
Read me your devil sight real quick.
I guess. Oh, darkness, magical darkness up to 120.
Wee.
You can see normally in darkness both magical and non-magical to a distance of 120 feet.
Your face can see normal.
So you have 10-foot blind sight, and then 10-foot blind sense from there. So your 10-foot you can see as if pretty much like you actually see, but blind sense isn't going to be quite the same. It's just invisible and hidden creatures, because it's blind sense, not blind sight. So for an additional 20 feet beyond that, you'll be able to see obscured things, but you won't be able to like see where like walls are and things like that quite as well. More so just it's hearing movement, things like that. So you'll have that blind sense and then blind sight. And I'm just trying to see if what you have actually works in anti-magic, because a lot of stuff doesn't.
Sure, here too. This is just listing those off.
Invocations. Your study of the cult lore has unearthed eldritch invocations, fragments of forbidden knowledge that imbue you with abiding magical ability. At second level, you gain 2 eldritch invocations. Your invocations are detailed to the description. Warlock knows what.
I took Devil's Sight as a feat because I had that as a.
But you took a feat for an extra eldritch invocation.
No, I think I took Devil's Sight just as a feat.
It's under your invocations.
Yeah.
So you got an invocation. And that's what it's listed as, because it's not under feats. Under feats, you have skill effort, divinely featured, gift magic. You have chromatic dragon, metallic dragon.
I swapped it for something.
You can switch invocations. You switched an invocation, but it is an invocation. The only issue is that invocations specifically say fragments of forbidden knowledge that imbue you with abiding magical abilities. So you can see in darkness, and you can see in magical darkness, but because of the anti-magic, you're not going to be able to see that. So you're not going to have exactly that. That being said,
so I still have my just normal dark vision.
you'd have normal dark vision, yeah. But the problem is that this isn't darkness. This is magical darkness. So dark vision doesn't see through it. But it's void is a very specific thing. So it is meant to be difficult to get around. Unfortunately, you weren't there when they got their 10 foot of blind sight. Give me a. Actually, hold on. Okay, but one thing you can do, so you won't be able to. This is going to be difficult. Let me see how this works. Because look under one spell as well, because I don't want to say something wrong, but. You don't need to sleep, right?
Correct. I can't be put to sleep or anything like that. I remember I was putting that too.
One thing that you do have, though, you won't. Oh, well, no, because that's separate. Because that's from there. It is from a powerful thing. If you have your familiar out, you can use your familiar senses. So the spawn of Hafgufa has 60-foot blind sight, and Tremor Sense 120 while in water, which isn't going to help you because you're not in water, but has 60-foot blind sight from that. So you can focus through him because he is powerful enough that it's not directly a magical spell. It's like Find Familiar, but it's like Find Familiar from effectively an artifact level item. So that being said, now that being said, if your familiar dies, you're just blind.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, I don't see shit. So, but yeah, so you'll have 60-foot blind sight from but you'll be seeing from his point of view. So that gives you that. I'm guessing you would do captain, and then you'd be obviously the bosun.
Yep.
You're going to do the quartermaster probably. Then you need a first mate, which is somebody who's proficient with intimidation and persuasion skills and has a decent charisma.
I can also be first mate.
It'd be hard to do multiple jobs depending on if you
That's
get
what I was
if
going to
you
say
get
too. It's
into
like, I have
an
decent
encounter.
intimidation and persuasion.
It's going to be like, are you focusing on the crew or are you focused on navigating?
Right.
Because you're not going to be like in a hazard. You have to pick one or the other.
Do you have proficiency in at least one of those?
It's
Well, there you
interesting
go.
both.
Oh shit.
But do you have a high charisma?
It's not horrible.
Yeah. So I mean, you could
Yeah.
do first mate.
First mate quiz.
Or surgeon or cook. Surgeon is like medicine and being able to heal people. Not so much. Probably not as much.
Not much healing thing. A little bit of
You have
medicine.
medicine. But you could do just herbalism and healer's kits.
Whenever
Should figure it
time is
out.
down, I could serve as a second medic, surgeon.
But if shit hits the fan, if you're trying to navigate, you might need so it might be good to get a surgeon and a cook. What are you going to say to these people to try to convince people to join you on your void drift?
Come on.
We can offer you the safety of our presence and the nothingness of void space. We will pay you and compensate you for your time, protecting you at all costs, if necessary. But we are to set adrift for semi-long periods of time and return. Obviously, with your freedom to tap out after such a voyage.
One person who would be interested, Lorquin would say, I'm more than capable of potentially being a surgeon for you. I wouldn't necessarily ask for payment through normal means, but you have recently come across an item that I think, from my studies, would work in void space. Maybe see if I could trade that item for my services as a surgeon. I will be limited, as I don't think I can magically heal you, but I am decent in other abilities. I can stabilize things to an extent.
I could think of nobody else who I would want to have the item. I'm assuming you mean the relentless, or the bracelet, bracelet.
Yes. I think that could be very beneficial. And it didn't seem like something you guys were jumping on.
Nah.
We do not have much use for the beneficent bracelet. We do not know necessarily what other properties it will give you.
You know. Remember you looked at them all. You did a
It's
legend
like a
on it.
laundry list of just like moving things.
No, but like the
The minor, the major, and the minor.
Right.
Yeah, you knew what it was.
Did we?
Yeah. The one minor beneficial property was it did sleight of hand. You got proficiency in sleight of hand. The major beneficial property was you gained 1d8 temporary hit points at the start of your turn.
Oh, nice.
So long as you don't have any other, like, obviously you can't
Temporary
gain
hits.
more.
Right.
If you had one temporary hit point, you could gain up to that amount, but you won't gain it if you have more than that. And then your appearance slowly changed as you become more translucent. Remember?
Right.
You look kind of ghostly, like
That's the
the hand that
detrimental
starts to
property.
turn away. You just
That's
start
fucking epic.
to just.
You start looking like the hand.
Turn to a little bit ghostly.
Like, is it the person or is it the spell? Is it the hand? Nobody
Well, it's
can
one of those
tell.
things, like, yeah, because people.
You don't
It is
know.
detrimental because you show up and you look. You have like a ghostly arm and whatnot. Maybe like your neck and face is starting to disappear. People might be like, "Oh my God, it's a ghost!"
What
Ah.
the fuck? Yeah.
So I'm just part ghost. It's
Dealing with people
okay.
could be a pain in the booty.
I think that would be wonderful for you to have this.
I think it'd be great.
I would then be okay with having it.
Anyone object to Laura Quinn as our surgeon?
No.
The cost of the beneficent bracelet.
Sounds great.
None of us are using it. I'd rather one of our allies have it than sell it off or something of the like.
I have become better at healing since I've needed it. I'm capable of healing people with healer's kits. It's not a whole lot, but it's something that I can do to help since I won't have spells.
I think that would be perfect. We can also stock up, or at least see if our merchant friend can get us healer's kits. Have a few.
I have a few on hand, and obviously I would have no problem with getting more. It would be nice. We could stock up the ship with some. I guess I should probably get a backpack and add some to a normal backpack because I'm guessing a Heward's isn't going to be as effective.
Probably not. Probably not.
Backpack
Probably not.
30 pounds.
We haven't had any issues with other holding spaces.
You haven't directly traveled through Void. You guys have navigated around Void. You guys are going straight into it.
Well, you've been into it.
You guys have been hit by it with things like that, but you haven't been like, oh, let me try to pull something out of my bag. Why is my bag holding not open?
Right.
Just literally, it's
It's just the extra dimensional space is cut off.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
like, all right, it doesn't open. Cool.
Oh, it's a legendary item. That wouldn't work.
What's a legendary item?
Reaper's Scream. Be like, do you know how to use a Morningstar, Laura Quinn?
Crossbow, hand, longsword, rapier, short sword, simple weapons. I'm guessing it's a martial weapon,
A Morningstar probably is a martial, I would guess.
but it's legendary, not.
Right, not artifact.
But backpack holds 30 pounds, and she can load 30 pounds with just 10 healer's kits into it. Healer's kit has 10 uses, so that gives her 100 uses, and she has the ability to obviously just absolutely rock you guys with a heal. Once she can use it to stabilize a dying creature. It also regains one hit point. Whereas in action, she can spend one use of the healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points. Plus additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit die. So that's good. So that's a decent heal. Boom! But she can only do it once. You can only get that benefit once per short rest. So
It's gotta be somebody that's down.
But that's
Yeah.
very fucking helpful.
basically, what she would do is if somebody became bloodied, she'd be like, "Oh, you're bloodied, healing."
So no.
Of course, she would be blind the entire time. This is fun. Blind condition is great. Fail anything that requires sight, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. She wouldn't be that good with that hand crossbow. Did I hit it?
Yes.
Vicious mockery. She's just saying shit.
Except it doesn't work.
Return to the
Spell.
anus you crawled forth from, or whatever. I don't remember exactly what she said.
It's just,
Vicious mockery and Baldur's Gate is actually really funny. They drop a lot, but that was like my favorite one, especially because she said it all weird. She's like, "Return to the anus that you crawled forth from."
Hey, whoa.
3 points of
whoa.
damage.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
I'm waiting for them to do all these updates and shit. Like my computer's going to hell. It keeps crashing.
My laptop like super died like 3 weeks ago, and I can't find any of my recovery discs, and I haven't like been somewhere where I can put it on a USB stick, and I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I just need to get a new one anyway because it's from fucking 2008.
Shit. Mine's games. It's just crashing.
Oh shit, my damn laptop couldn't handle Diablo 3.
Really.
Barely made it through. I was able to get one playthrough, but it was on like the absolute lowest settings.
That's what I am on 4 right there.
And then even now, like I've tried to like play Terraria on my computer, and my computer can't even handle Terraria, which is like what 16-bit pixel game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit going on, but it's still like it's a fucking pixel game, and it's like I can't do this. So I would just use it to watch YouTube and check my email, and then one day I tried to turn it on, and it said blue screen of doom.
It's like absolutely not.
So there's something here that we can't boot up. I'm like, everything is fine. I just need to fucking find the disc.
There's also there would be somebody who would be willing to travel as a cook for somewhat decent pay, because I can make food. It's basic. I can make snacks, things like that. I can brew things and keep people in good spirits. But I
Is
can't
that something
fight
that we
to save
is
my
that
life.
something that we ever discerned?
Which is more than fine.
Whether or not we can get intoxicated in the astral?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, we can.
Really, we figured that
But
out.
Absolutely.
can you do all of that without being able to see?
Yeah.
For my part, you're hired. We would absolutely protect you and do all we could to make sure that you were out of harm's way. If it came down to it.
My snacks, I make those, and I've been making the same things. I mean, I can pretty much do it in my sleep. I can't see while I'm asleep. And as long as I'm brewing just the very basic things, I know how my brewer's kit works. You know, my skills work. I don't necessarily really need light to do it. Nothing I do. Oh, wait. Let's not fucking say that until I know for sure.
Anything particularly complicated, you could ask for assistance, and we can be your eyes.
Doesn't say magic. Nowhere does it say magic. As part of a short rest, you can provide food. You have ingredients for cook's utensils. You can prepare enough food for a number of creatures equal to 4 plus your proficiency bonus. So he's going to get a couple of people, at least you guys. At the end of the short rest, the creatures who eat this food and spends 1 or more hit die regain an additional 1d8 hit points. So you guys will heal more after short rests. In addition, with 1 hour of work, when you finish a long rest, you can cook a number of treats equal to your proficiency bonus. These special treats last for 8 hours after being made. A creature can use a bonus action to eat one of these treats, gaining temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. It's not a lot, but
Still.
it's something. Because you guys are going in, like, healing is not going to be a thing. So.
That's pretty nice. Absolutely. Now can we find a couple of others to help us man the void fly? Because we are at what, 6 of us? 7 of us now with the cook?
So this guy's the
No,
cook.
6 of us with the cook. Right?
That sounds right.
This is your cook. This is your surgeon. Okay, hold on. Cook and surgeon will be in there because one of these should be. One of these is the galley, and one of these is the. Not galley. Med bay. Right, let's see. I feel like that's correct, but we are going to double check that. I mean, you can obviously set it up however you want, but traditionally, it is a galley. Oh, and quarters. So there is none. So this one is currently set up as a galley. So he'd do that, and then this is the quarters, where she would also kind of tend to or treat people.
Fair enough. Easy enough.
So yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
6 of us.
maybe
3.
7. I mean, this spawn isn't the smartest, but it's also not incapable of helping with the crew.
Come on. He's just hanging out. He wants to help so bad.
We need at least 3 more. At least. And that's going with the minimum. Does that take into consideration shifts?
That's the entire crew. Usually that breaks into shifts and stuff like that.
Well,
I mean, the octopus would be capable of it.
for my part, I do not sleep and I would not need to take a shift. I could just work.
That's true. I mean, you still need to rest if things get hectic and you need to, like, recover.
Right.
But luckily you're not trying to get spell slots back or anything. That's more of recovering hit die. Same thing for you. So
We could probably get it done with
you could probably make this work if you needed to.
6 of us.
Because the 2 of you guys are effectively taking 3 shifts. Looks like, I'm guessing if it's usually broken into about 3 shifts, a crew of 9, you need at least 3 people kind of working all the time and then kind of shift it up from there.
Yeah, I'd rather need to sleep, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Hard for me.
I think we should, and by we I mean Norin and I, should try to ask our deities or glean the best direction and or starting point with which to launch ourselves from. We can try and feel that with the spell jamming helm, but knowing point this way at this speed, would we intersect with it by X amount of time? And see if we can basically divine fish our way towards this artifact, or at least glean how long it would take. So if we know spell jamming helm, it wants me to go in this direction. Okay.
if I go towards it in this direction, starting now, would I encounter the object within a month? Just start there and see if it says anything. It's worth a shot. It's better than going out and wasting months to years of our time.
Better than a blind step, for sure.
Yeah, so you can definitely ask of gods things.
Cats.
Dudes.
So, and remember, you don't need the spell-jamming helm to navigate and to kind of know which way you need to go.
Right, that's
Because
just
in
part
the
of the
astral
astral
sea.
sea.
Yeah. You can kind of think of a way to go, and you're like, okay, cool, I know which way to go. You won't always know. You'll not necessarily know the safe way, but it's kind of like that's the most direct way, which kind of sucks because it's like one of those things where
Is there something in the way?
there may be a freaking planet in the way. You're just flying. You're like, oh hey, we just
We could go
ended up on
straight
a
into
planet
the
that's in
star,
a
the
void.
star dragon.
You know.
Let's just go right into him. It's like, oh, he didn't ask if there's anything in the way. Yeah, I can see that.
But we can.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? What information do you want to glean?
So yeah, try and commune with the deity. Can ask 3 questions. Can be answered with a yes or no, or it could be unclear.
Oh shit.
Or if a one-word answer could be misleading, could offer a short phrase as an answer instead.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's what I would do, is just a commune.
Okay.
Go into the Temple of Nishiko.
Okay. Ask you a question.
Just commune.
The spell. You have. I think you have it as well. You also have like.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. You also have like the.
I have the contact other plane thing.
Divination as well, or contact other
You have commune with nature, contact of the plane.
Yeah, I went right past him. It's like, yeah, I don't think I want to be insane for 8 hours.
It's not that hard for you to avoid that, but if you cast commune, you can only cast it once, and then there's a chance that it fails after that. But contact of the plane gets you commune gets you 3,
Yes.
and contact of the plane gets you 5. You just have to make an intelligence saving throw for contact of the plane. DC 15, you have a decent chance of succeeding,
Yeah.
especially because you can cast stuff or get bonuses and stuff.
Yeah, if you're near me, that helps.
Well, it gives you the bonus for being near him, and then he can also do things.
Enhance ability,
Extra stuff.
emblem, or whatever. But yeah. First question, I guess. If we were to set out with our crew on a void fly from this base towards the Sparkforged artifact of Ayun, could we reach it within a month?
Yes.
That did sound very confident. I like it. It's a yes, but it's like, sure, you could totally do that.
Is there something dangerous currently in possession of or guarding the Sparkforged artifact of Ayun?
Yes.
Don't like these question marks.
Yeah.
That's on me. It's probably just talking about void space itself.
I know phrasing is important, but the question marks just make me leery. It's like, sure?
Yeah.
Just wait till it's a no with the question mark, and then it's like, okay, what the fuck is no with the question mark?
Traveling from our location with the crew that we have on a void fly, could we reach the Sparkforged artifact of Ayun within 2 weeks of travel?
Potentially.
That's the 3.
Small business. I don't know what that was.
We're just like finishing off a week and they're talking conversation. Are you pooping? It's too late in coming.
No, that's pretty good.
No. So, Nora, the things that I've gleaned are we could reach it within a month. We have the potential or possibility of reaching it within 2 weeks of travel. Potentially. Meaning if we probably exhausted a lot of our resources, maybe used the bracelet, the beneficent bracelet, to maybe help propel us or push us. I don't know what we could do to increase our speed. Who knows? But we could potentially reach it within that time. Also, I asked if there was something in possession of or that is currently guarding the artifact. Seemed to be pretty confident that there was something. I fear that maybe that something is void space, and that it just gave me an ambiguous answer. But there could also be something there, and we should prepare for that. Can you think of anything else you would want to ask?
Can we reach this Sparkforged artifact through any void space portal?
What are you doing?
Come in.
Come in. Okay.
What's going on? What is happening?
Asking deities for help.
Uncertain.
You could ask if it is in a static position or if it is adrift. We know that it's in void space, we just don't know if it is traveling or if it is stuck somewhere.
Is the Sparkforged item in void space stationary?
No.
It is.
Is there any, this might be long-winded, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Would there be a particular void space portal that would take us straight to it, as opposed to trying to just guess at which one?
No.
The void space
Right.
portals take you from one void space portal to the other one, not
Yeah.
to like locations in void space.
Well, I guess my thinking was, because
If there was a portal nearby it or something.
Yeah, like a closer portal.
Yeah.
I guess my thinking was is one specific portal maybe different than the others
Right.
type thing. So,
That too.
I guess.
Didn't seem like it was a thing, no.
Well, I'm confident it will only take us longer if we wait. Do we feel confident with who we have? Shall we purchase
any extra supplies that we may need.
I will throw down for some extra potions. I was going through the thing here. I didn't have as many as I thought I did.
I'm not sure your potions would accomplish much in void space.
Yeah. I mean, you won't be thirsty.
True.
But healer's kits I could use, or Lorquin could probably use to a better capacity.
I have 10 of them. Excuse me, 100 heals.
Oh,
And
that's right, yeah.
talking
Okay, yeah, okay.
Potentially 2 weeks to get to this thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much you want me to heal you, but I can heal you 100 times walking out the door.
I would hope we wouldn't need to be healed 100 times, but also, you just never know.
Better to have too much as not
Well, there's
enough.
6 of us that may need to be healed. 7 with your thing. Call it, you have to heal 7 times.
We could purchase some healer's kits from our friend. How much? Or let's see if he even has any for sale. Go and talk to our boy.
He has 35 healer's kits for sale.
Wouldn't hurt to have extras on hand.
Feel like
Again, too much is better than not enough.
Feel like yeah, we should purchase these.
He'll sell them to you for 10 gold each.
It's 10 times 35.
350.
So you just add 0.
Sure.
But doing 10s is easy. Which is why percentages are easy, because you just have to find 1%. Find 1%, and then you can just do the 10s, and then the 5, and then add on from there.
Guys are
Find the 1, make it a 10. Half it, that's a 5. 10, 5, 1, it's going to get you any percentage pretty quickly.
we can do 10 but not 5 or 1.
10. So if you want to get the 10% real quick, that's easy, then half it, that's your 5. That's why it's funny at work, because people are like, man, I only got like this much, and I'm like, that's still
They still tip you like 17%,
Like,
yeah,
that's
which is
not bad.
plenty fine, yeah.
Yeah. 15 is still the standard, like, I get you were here and doing your job.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed, but I'm not upset.
15, I'm not angry. 15, I'm like, okay, they gave me something.
15, I'm like, yeah, we're just rolling through, we're good. 18, I'm like, cool. If it's a direct 18, I'm like, cool. So you understand that I'm also giving other people money.
Yeah.
And then 20, it's like, oh, cool. You think I did a good job. And more than that, it's usually because I'm giving out the candies under the table.
I've seen it. It's marvelous.
How do you think I got all this stuff here?
Expert craftsman,
Just
man.
pouring myself.
Master of his craft.
This is why feet picks are for sale.
50,000 hours right there.
Oh, on the face.
Got a call already?
No, it's just wasn't showing us live, but it is. We are live. It just wasn't randomly showing me it. It was like refreshing. We're good. But do you want more people? More people means more management and more control, but it also
Means more liability.
do you want the ability to, like, if something comes along, do you want, like, some of you, given your alignment, do you want, like, things to distract other creatures, you know? Something might come up and just, like, take you as a snack and disappear. Do you want that? So I put odds
Oh,
against
yeah,
you?
We should definitely bring some more people in.
Do you want just random people with crossbows who can just be like, there's a noise, and shoot, and,
Do not want any extra blind people, honestly. I think we can manage with what we have.
If something wants to come and take something for a snack, it can choose me. And it will have a very hard time. I hope.
I rolled an 18.
I used to
On a
go
snack
hunting
check.
for aberrations.
Snack check.
I'm a complete snack. Right? I'm a total meal.
Mm-hmm. I just ate you.
Appetizer, entree, and dessert. Baby. Let's go. So, I would rather not bring any more people to their inevitable doom if we can avoid it.
Right.
It's horrible enough that we're bringing this poor cook who will be blind for at least a month's worth of travel there and back. Could be 2, could be more. If we get lucky, could be less. Who knows? We will not be giving you as a snack willingly to anything. I will make sure of that.
Also, the more crew you have, the more capable you are at manning things. If you have just officers, and you don't have like a full crew, you don't have a full crew score, you come across hazards.
Right.
Just as a thought. It's like one less group of people are doing that. So, so if you don't pull 3 more people, then you won't have a full crew, which means
Our crew score will
you're
be
basically
lacking.
rolling 1 less on your attempts to make it through certain hazards.
Your attempts to survive.
So,
Well, we don't need any more specifics, do we?
You don't anything specific, just crewmen. Just in general, who would be capable. You can't resurrect people with expertise. I mean, you could resurrect them, but they would be enthralled.
probably a little hostile.
Oh, what's going on? Where's things?
Why are you so mad?
Where are my friends
I would
dead?
rather not resurrect someone just to turn them into a slave. That's not powerful, of course. It's like a triple bogey. It's not happening.
History.
Ooh, that's a 24 history. Laura Quinn lets you know, she's like, we just need 3 like skilled sailors who've sailed at night and done stuff like that. I could
Super nice.
pull a couple people, potentially. People who are used to sailing at night, who have some feel of doing things with like storms and fog and stuff like that. I mean, you get somebody who has experience in fog at night, that's pretty much what we're doing.
Are these people that you know back on the material plane?
The people I know of, I wouldn't say that I know them, but if we know of them, we could always
Kidnap them! Wait.
do
Proposition them. Proposition them.
Quentin used the word kidnap.
Why? You like that? It's kind of bitter.
He just pops out of the corner. It's like, yeah, you kidnappers.
Let's not just snatch people up. Let's give them an option.
I could reach out to them with some sending.
Why not?
What,
should
Just
1
kidnap
month
them.
of travel, maybe more, but probably 1 month.
at least a month, it seems.
So, say 2 months of service.
Yes.
What are you offering? She puts her hand in her pocket.
Well, I would hope maybe some precious gemstones or something of coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
not
personally
gonna
know what the
send a
going
sending
rate
until-
is.
No, you're,
What would you have paid a crew on your ship?
I didn't have a ship.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically, I never had a ship.
It's not what hypothetically means.
I feel like you're smarter than this, Lord.
I even knew that.
no
I'm a big dumb
idea
idiot.
what the rates of piracy and so on would be.
We're not pirates. We're more so treasure hunters. I'm not gonna go and
Okay. Well,
As far as I
don't
know,
if
pirates
the-
negotiate for shares, so there shouldn't be any sort
The
of
people-
raw
Yeah.
money deal. If we're looking for pirates, if that's who you know,
Well, yeah, I mean sailors. Well, sailors work on shares too, but are we going for shares of anything? Are they going to get? Are you just going to be like, yeah, here, go ahead, use the spark forge, and just let them
no.
all die?
I mean, I don't think any.
I heard your
Why
heart
not?
exploded.
Yeah, that was fun.
That totally saved us a lot of trouble.
Which also didn't.
Yeah, we were kind of setting up for this. Are you guys up to par for this?
Are you guys up to? Yes. I travel void space. That's what I do.
I think he more so meant the
Almost. So very almost.
Capable of.
Getting a couple of them, and then they will be. They're close.
Probably not, if I'm being real with you. Because we watched the single person closest to taking on one of these challenges fail, so my answer to you would be no.
Okay. In all fairness, like he was 21, he could get in the bar, but that doesn't mean he was like ready to party.
He was absolutely ready to party.
Just not to that level.
He's the closest one of us who was ready to party, that's for sure. Are you ready? Well then.
I feel like I'm just gonna. What time is it? Okay, 8:41. Episode. Just might clip that later. Jesse dies. Fuck. Are you ready? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, what?
Just that very confident. Oh yeah.
Well, I am very charismatic, so
No,
I
I'm
can definitely make you guys believe I am. Am I?
Oh, I can know you're full of shit. Or think that you're dumb enough to believe that you are.
I'm gonna go with option B on that.
Again, we watched somebody who was supposed to be highly proficient do the trial for his god and fail.
This guy, I mean, crushing depths, like sea monster, like sort of Melora gift vibe. He's got a lot of that, just kind of oozing off him.
Yeah.
You get a feel for it. There's times where like he's just chilling and he gets up and like, did you leave ink on the seat? Like, what is that?
Yeah, no, Melora, like, for
Weird.
you, makes sense. Ayun, though, it's like, maybe. I've seen you whip out that book before, but also, I know Eldritch versus knowledge.
Do we want to maybe try somewhere else then?
I think acquiring this before something else does, or before it is lost, is probably one of the better chances we will have.
And being the deity of knowledge, acquiring it first might help us with the others.
It could also help us ascertain more about the nature of death and pestilence
War and famine.
and war and famine.
And Mumsir.
And Mumjir. We could learn about Mumjir too, I'm sure.
Is it on Mumsir's card over here anymore? Mumsir's gone.
We do not need Mumjir's card or any of
Something's
Ela's
gone.
servants.
Gone.
So, I think it is absolutely worth going after ASAP.
Getting it will get you closer to being able to use it, but probably not. You would probably be the one most using it. Most using it. Which will be fun. Like you have the God of knowledge. You have a decent bit of knowledge. You have a lot of saving throws. That's helpful. It's very helpful. Some of your expertise and knowledge may be lacking a little bit. I've seen your religion checks.
Yeah. They're not so great.
But who knows? We get it.
So, are we confident to start off on our trek today?
Do you want me to? I mean, we're still. I mean, I can pull 3 good people that need an offering. You guys started talking about like you're ready for the mission. Now I just don't even know if we should do pull the guys or we not. Another thing. You asked me what I would offer them. I would offer them nothing because I'm fucking poor.
Me as well.
I mean,
I
I've
could
got.
offer him something, but somebody had to bring morals into the fucking bullshit.
Wait, what are you offering?
But,
Wait, what were you talking about? Morals?
no.
I thought-
Our friend doesn't like morals because he would rather eat or feed crew members to creatures in the void than pay them for honest work.
No, we can pay him.
It's like at no point does that stop anybody from being fed to anyone else.
I just don't know if I want to reach out to them if you're going to feed them.
You have a paladin on your ship that will pretty much ensure that will not be happening.
Isn't he the captain now? Are we going to
Technically.
have to mutiny him?
We just might.
We got the cash. It's running through.
I can't just be like, hey, we got the cash, let's do this. Like, you're going to want
I'm
numbers.
prepared to offer
We got the cash.
appropriate
2
financial
months.
compensation.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
But there's also the benefit of just being away from the material plane if that has any allure to anyone.
Danuda. You hungry? You eat? Danuda.
Do you eat?
Do
Will
eat?
you go with
Will
me?
you go with me? Will you go there?
That was so creepy. I don't know what happened. I just blacked out.
That's so dumb.
Klaus is like so low key, like one of my favorites. So like just so good.
Dude, he's so in love with her then. Like the fact that that's like such a stretching storyline where you're just like, is that going on again? And he starts talking about it. You're like, oh shit, Klaus, you
Why are-
sad crazy fish.
Danuda's single again. Danuda. Anyways,
Why don't
Willing
we
to
offer
offer-
them 500 gold a month or something like that, or 1,000 gold a month, or who knows what? I don't know. Does this sound too outlandish?
I feel like sailing into void space seems like you know, certain death. These are also the only reason I know these names to reach out with them is because there are songs and stories told of them. So
Oh jeez.
Maybe they're some of the best.
Thought it was just some like dude
so,
you
like,
knew.
no, like these are. I'm literally gonna reach. I'm reaching into my history of, like, oh, what stories have I heard? What things? I don't even know if these guys are alive. I've never met them, but I've sung songs about them.
So then pay them a little more.
So that's why I need to. I can reach out to them right now.
Can we offer them 10,000 gold pieces worth of gemstones?
For 2 months.
For 2 months? I have nods, so
That sounds yeah, that sounds fine.
10,000 gold piece worth of gems, 2 months travel, in void space on a void fly.
would not be expected to participate in combat.
No, but it's always good if they do participate in combat because it's usually how we keep He's alive. Alright. Yep, 3 of those. I'm contacting you with a job. Came 10,000 gold of precious gems, traversing void space for upwards of 2 months. Yeah, getting interest from all 3. She'll cast all 3 of those. Word back, yeah, they seem interested. We can attempt to gate them in. How many times can we gate?
I think 6 or something. Or no, 3.
How many times can we gate?
I think it's 3 a day.
3.
3 days, so we can pull all 3 of them in.
Let's do that.
Yep, 3 a day.
So then you will pull in the 3 people. Because you're just those. So maybe here. Now what is not in there? Is it? Probably shouldn't be in this one, but it could be.
6.
Let's try miscellaneous moves. Makes sense too to find ones we're looking for. It's not in there, and it's not in there. Is it in melee fighters? Yes, it is. Not that one. Oh, that one's in melee fighters. The other one's going to be in sword fighters because we haven't cut its sword off yet. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, need to get back to melee. You guys pull in a female typhoon, a weird metal-clad dude who's just full plate now, firearms and stuff like that on him, just full plate, and a Githrazai.
Nice.
And Githrazai goes, "It is very good to be home. Void space, not so good, but it's very good to be home."
You are welcome. We are happy to have you. My name is Adun. What is yours?
Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds, I'm almost done. I just need to pull this up.
Dave has just as much ability to say, and we're going to call it there for the evening.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next week.
Honestly. I know it's a Githner's Eye. So I'm going to choose a Githner's Eye. And I know the class I'm going with. And it is going to be... Oh, not bad.
Is it Chaticus from the Crossroads?
Yes, it is Chaticus.
I do it.
No, that is definitely not Chaticus. Randomly get Dareth. And Dareth.
Dareth.
Dare to say.
I've not heard that one before.
But
How clever of you. Sorry. It is, yeah, that's, yes, I am Darius. It is good to be back, and I'm excited to travel with you, Adu. Are you the captain then of the ship?
Our acting captain is going to be...
Acting captain? Is this to say that you are not normally a captain?
No, I am the captain.
Unless motives seem questionable. But truly, in all honesty, we have fought in many battles side by side, and Captain Norn does well.
Since we are doing introductions, I am Nufen.
No friend?
Nufen.
I got nothing to say about that.
Good jokes. This is the first time I've ever heard you make a joke.
You have proficiency with firearms.
I have expertise with firearms, not simply proficiency.
Excellent. Black powder is still quite effective in void space.
It is. We will be traveling on a void fly. Are we going to have extra black powder for getting through difficult spots?
We have kegs on each. We should gather more.
That's definitely on my list of final things, final supplies to grab, is making sure that we're not going to be unable to propel ourselves, and then assorted other final potions to be useful for whenever we get where we're going.
Well, in theory, we will also have a Bigby's hand to shove us along.
How will we have Bigby's hand to shove us along to void space? Something I do not understand.
It is an artifact that we have as a boon to aid us.
That is quite a boon. Be very helpful.
And you, my lady, what may we call you?
Rosenjournal Baumgartner. Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum. Rosenjournal Baumgartner.
Girders and badge to you, face?
Couldn't do much then with that, then, could he? Should have been a little wrist. Get you a nice little curl back there, Rosie.
No, not that. My name is Alexis, but my friends call me the seasickness.
Places, the seasickness,
Melesis.
melaces, the seasickness.
And you kind of see she's a tiefling, but she has like red skin, but there's just this kind of like greenish hint to it. Black hair. Black hair again has like a green tinting to it.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Believe me, the pleasure is all mine. And you are the captain? So, your first god failed you? Give me a history. Eight. You're not sure exactly what she's getting at, but you've heard that said before about some of the people who don't like the Simnic. People who think that cutting on yourself and altering yourself is basically saying that your first god failed you. Like whoever originally made you clearly made you wrong in your eyes. But it does, in a lot of ways, come off as an insult to some. We will be traveling in darkness, void space.
Yes.
Well, I have traveled the depths. Ships that were submersible while darkness became crushing. Shouldn't be something out of my normal expertise. I should be fine with this.
Excellent. If any of you have any need for eyes on the journey, we have people who have blind sense. I personally can see as much as I can see in darkness.
I will need an hour to prepare, and then I will be able to do it as well. I will need to call upon a different familiar.
Absolutely. We have controls filled for our ship. Should be fully manned at this point. We should be able to travel whenever you are ready.
We are ready to set off now, I guess.
I would like to make sure that there are some crates or something of some sort set aside on the ship. I did not have time to gather these, but the magical storage spaces that I use to hold things will not be usable, so it would be nice if we had crates, and it would be nice if we could stay out of each other's crates. Maybe an honor system while we are traveling.
That's fair.
I can aid in this as well.
Yes. I will carry as much of my stuff on me as I can, but clearly some things I want access to that I won't have access once we enter into the darkness.
That is fair.
You watch, and he's like reaching into the bag of holding and just pulling out like packs of like what look like. Give me perception.
I can perceive.
He's like pulling stuff out of the bag of holding, like a lot, and just cramming it into like belt pouches. So 27,
33.
33,
34.
34,
23.
23.
6 or 7, but it's 1. So
Natty one.
nothing.
He's pulling out, like, he literally has a bag of holding. He's just pulling out what looks like just like bunches of tobacco and loading it into pouches.
Fair enough.
But with that, we have a crew together. We have an idea to send off towards the ship of Ion.
Yes.
Traveling through void, not just void space, but actual void, which will be interesting. And we will pick that up next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything you would do differently. You know, random engagement, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. Just say stuff. Don't just watch, say stuff. I see people watching. Anyways, we will see you next week, and I'm going to call it there.
Peace out.
Woo!
Wait.
Stop streaming.